And Hyundai presents the Sunday game of the week. It's the New York Yankees against the New York Mets in the final game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. It's been a good first 2 games for the Yankees, and what they did was they used the formula, David. Home runs and good starting pitching usually equals victories.
Yeah, it's a great combination, and if you're a pitcher, you like those home runs to come early in the game, as they did for Hiroki Kuroda, and Robinson Cano provides it for you, and when he hits it right off the bat, he knows it. Drop and watch. That must feel nice. I never hit him like that, Michael, but then Swisher follows it up. Johan Santana off the no-hitter had some trouble. All his pitches were up in the zone. A changeup finally from Andrew Jones stays fair inside the foul pole. All these runs go early. Nick Swisher needs to learn how to loosen up a little bit. He's too reserved. And Mark Teixeira as well the next night. Teixeira's getting it going. When that Yankee middle of the order gets it going early in the games, that just gives your pitchers so much more confidence. And you're going to see it. The pitchers feed off the hitters feed off the pitchers.
Well, take a look at these numbers. The Yankees have now outscored the Mets in the first 2 games 13-3. Yankees with 6 home runs. David just told you about those. The Mets with 2. And the Yankee starting pitchers, Kuroda and Hughes, 13 1/3 innings pitched and 2 runs, and both of them were allowed by Hughes. The Yankees 6-1 in their last 7 games against the Mets. Well, can the Yankees go for the sweep? When we come back, a battle of left-handers. We'll break it down, but we'll tell you why Andy Pettitte has been so unbelievable since coming out of retirement. David Cohn will do the honors next, right here on Yes.
Only a Honda is a Honda sales event is going on right now. And Hillside Honda is the dealer to show you why a Honda is a Honda. Drive any new 2012 Honda from Hillside Honda today for 0 down with 0.9 APR financing or 0 due at lease signing. For complete details, go to hillsidehonda.com. That's right, drive any new 2012 Honda from Hillside Honda today for 0 down with 0.9 APR financing or 0 due at lease signing. It's only a Honda is a Honda sales event going on right now at Hillside Honda in Queens, New York. Click hillsidehonda.com or call for complete details.
Hit it out of the ballpark. I'm Cindy with Lee's Toyota, and while some dealers can't get to first base, you can score a home run deal at Lee's. People come from near, far, and in between to shop our 3 big showrooms at one location. Amazing low prices, 0 financing available, and great leases. If you missed coming to Lee's, you'll miss getting a lot for less. Family owned and operated for over 50 years. See what a great deal really is at Lee's Toyota.
You better believe it.
My name is Cheryl Carroll. My wonderful husband passed away about 1.5 years ago of mesothelioma. My heart broke. He wanted to live, and he was trying to do everything possible just to prolong his life, like for us.
I was only 12 at the time. It was really hard.
Financially, I don't know what we would have done if it wasn't for Whites in Luxembourg. Whites in Luxembourg, they're absolutely with you every step of the way.
Welcome back to Yankees Baseball, everybody. Let's take a look at the New York Lottery pitching matchup. Jonathan Neese is going to go for the Mets. He's 4-2 with a 4.11. Andy Pettitte for the Yankees, 3-2, 2.78. David, you wonder, is Andy Pettitte actually better than he's been in a long time?
Well, I think he is. He's certainly better in terms of being more efficient, of getting deeper in the games, of throwing strike 1. He's really provided a blueprint for young pitchers to watch. Work fast, throw strikes, get your fastball over in good spots, and then go to work and try to expand the strike zone. That's what's allowed him to get so deep into the games right out of the gate. Missing a year, coming right back, it looks like he's never missed a beat.
And if you look at the numbers, they just jump out at you. The most in the first 5 starts, innings pitched since 2001. He's striking out more than he struck out in a while. 4.6 strikeouts per walk ratio. Unbelievable. And 7 1/3 innings on Tuesday against the Rays. 2 hits and 10 strikeouts. Meredith Marakovitz caught up with Joe Girardi before the game and asked him some of Andy Pettitte's personality.
Andy has his little quirks during his starts where he'll yell sometimes, he'll talk to himself sometimes, and it's just Andy. Being Andy is probably the best way to describe it.
You look at the rotation in the month of June, 6-1, ERA under 2. How much do you credit Andy for helping stabilize the rotation?
I think he's helped. I think he's really helped our young guys understand the meaning of managing expectations. And, Andy has that work ethic and that preparation that's really, really good. And I think guys can learn a lot from him.
Andy Pettitte will take on the crosstown rival Mets in the final game of the first edition of the Subway Series. The Yankees looking for the sweep. Lineups, first pitch, baseball next.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
3,000! History with an exclamation point!
Fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Monday, June 18th when the Yankees take on the Braves in an interleague matchup. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a New York Yankees water bottle, courtesy of Delta Airlines. The 2012 New York Yankees. Heroes remembered, legends born.
Do you work for Toyota?
Yes.
Is it true the 2012 Camry has a lot of new features but costs less than last year?
Yes.
How is that even possible? I mean, is this thing even working? Do you find yourself uncontrollably attracted to me?
No.
No, it's working.
Lease the 35 MPG rated Toyota Camry for just $199 a month and get a lot for less. Toyota.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Pepsi Max. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. By the professionals at your Tri-State GMC dealer. Why just go when you can go pro? And by Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Perfect day for a little cold water, a little humidity in the air. Those kids are enjoying themselves, and inside, about 48,000 kids will enjoy themselves as they watch the Yankees against the Mets. Andy Pettitte is taking the mound. Why don't we take a look at the Mets starting lineup that he's going to face, put together by manager Terry Collins. Andres Torres, the center fielder, leads off. Batting second, playing left field, Jason Bay. David Wright at third base will hit third, cleaning up right fielder Scott Hairston. Lucas Duda, the DH, will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing first base, Vinny Rotino. Omar Quintanilla, the top, will bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching is Mike Nikias, and Jordani Valdespin, the second baseman, will bat ninth.
And here's the lefty. He's been brilliant since he's come off of his abbreviated retirement, and on the season, this will be start number 6. And look at that ERA, the innings pitched, only 7 walks and 32 strikeouts. And the scouting report, better than ever. I mean, we covered in the pregame show and the BP show, 4.6 strikeouts to every walk. That's almost twice as good as he has for his career numbers. That leads to being an innings eater. You throw a lot of strikes, you're going to throw a lot of innings. 35 2/3 innings so far this year in 5 starts. That's the most he's had since 01 through 5 starts. And Juan gone, well, he tied Juan Marichal on the all-time list for wins with his last start. If he wins tonight, he goes to number 50 ahead of Juan.
Let's do it here in the Bronx. The first pitch is a strike, and we are underway. The 0-1. Grounded to short. Jason Nix is there, and there's one away. Why don't we check out the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Andrew Jones at left, Curtis Granderson at center, Nick Swisher over and right. In the infield, it's A-Rod Nix, Cano and Teixeira, third and first. Jeter's the DH today. Martin is behind the plate, and Andrew Eugene Pettitte is on the mound. Here's Jason Bay, 0 for 7 since coming off the DL. On Friday, he batted 8th. Today, he's batting second against the lefty Pettitte. First pitch outside. Strike. Home plate umpire is Mike Muchlinski. Why did he bat him second? Here's one of the reasons. 14 for 32 lifetime against Pettitte. But Jason Bay seems to be a different player than he was with the Red Sox. One. High drive, deep left, backing up Jones on the track. He'll make the play. 2 outs.
Well, off the bat, it looks like it's got a chance. Andy Pettitte trying to come in. That ball's on the plate. Jason Bay takes a good whack at it. For a minute, he thinks he's got it. But Andrew Jones has made a lot of catches like this, and this is Death Valley in Yankee Stadium.
Here's David Wright. Had a home run in yesterday's game. Put together a great season. Third in the National League with a .355 average. And he hits .393 in day games. Pitch outside. Also a .455 on base percentage. Soft ground ball to second. Cano is there. And a 1-2-3 inning for Andy Pettitte, and he did it with just 7 pitches. Mets don't score. The New York Yankees coming to bat.
Interleague play heats up in Atlanta when the Bombers kick off a 3-game set with the Braves. Complete coverage starts tomorrow at 6:30 only on Guess.
Nissan Altima drives home the meaning of value with over 5,000 quality tests, 32 MPG, and all the features you want, all for less than Camry and Accord. Now get a $179 lease on the fuel-efficient Nissan Altima. For more offers, visit ChooseNissan.com. Test drive at your Tri-State Nissan dealer. Hurry in and drive home your Altima today.
Your flagship station for New York sports is The Fan. Boomer and Carton mornings 6 to 10. Beningo and Roberts middays 10 to 1. Mic'd Up with Mike Francesa afternoons 1 to 6:30. Plus Mets baseball and Giants football. That's Sports Radio 66 WFAN, New York's #1 sports station.
Hello.
Sunshine through today with seasonal temperature.
Hey, the boards are going this way. There's no way. Oh, the lights came on.
Isn't technology supposed to make life easier? At Chase, we're pioneering innovations that make banking simple. Deposit a check with a photo, pay someone with an email, and bank seamlessly with our award-winning mobile app. Take a step forward and chase what matters.
Jonathan East finishes his warm-ups. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup that he's going to face, presented by Lexus. The captain, the DH, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second, playing center is Curtis Granderson. Mark Teixeira's at first base. He'll hit third. Cleaning up, third baseman Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano at second will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing right field, Nick Swisher. Andrew Jones in left field will bat seventh. The number 8 hitter is the catcher, Russell Martin. And Jason Nix plays shortstop, and he's going to bat ninth.
Here's the lefty, Jonathan Neese. The Mets have high hopes for him. He's starting to get it going a little better, as the Mets rotation has really carried their team all year. And this will be his 12th start. Good record, 4.11 ERA, 26 to 61. He's a strikeout guy from the left side. And the scouting report is you got to get him early. 5.73 ERA in the first 3 innings this year, just 2.22 after that. But he's dominant against lefties. Only 1 extra base hit the whole year, and that was a double. And so can the Sun. He's 3-0 with a 2.35 ERA during the daytime this year.
Here's Derek Jeter, 1 hit and 10 at bats, and his averages dropped to .314, but that's still good for 6th in the American League. Terry Collins going to keep a close eye on Jonathan Neese. He's had to deal with a rapid heartbeat that he is going to have a surgical procedure performed on to correct, but that will be during the offseason. In his last start against St. Louis, had to walk around the back of the mound as his heart sped up. He's had it a couple of times. Ground ball is short. Quintanilla gets Jeter, 1 away. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. A little bit hot, but what do you expect? 80 degrees, 61% humidity, not much wind, and it's partly cloudy. Here's Curtis Granderson. And a strike. No one's popped up. David Wright makes the play. They say in fair territory for the second out. The Mets defense, let's look at it. It's brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Bay, Torres, and Hairston left to right in the outfield. Infield is Wright, Quintanilla, Valdespin, Rotino. That's third to first. Nicky is behind the plate, and Jonathan Neese is on the mound. Here's Teixeira, had a home run in last night's game. So did Granderson. And as David showed you in the open, 6 home runs for the Yankees in the first 2 games of this series. One and one.
All of a sudden, Teixeira up to 11 home runs. They usually come in bunches. So we've seen Teixeira over his Yankee career with slow starts, but when he gets hot, those home runs come in multiple games, early and often. But a much different approach batting right-handed. You see that open stance? He's more likely to go the other way and drive the ball in the gaps batting right-handed as opposed to the left-handed pull swing.
High fly ball. Just to the left of dead center. Andres Torres puts it away. And that will do it as the Yankees go down in order. Leading off for the Mets in the second, Scott Hairston against Pettit.
Everything looks good in pinstripes. So can you with the Yankees Edition Ford Escape.
The Yankees Edition Escape. Register at your local Tri-State Ford dealer or Yankees.com/Ford, and you could drive one home from the game on July 17th. Get your Tri-State Ford dealer.
If you think you have to put off getting a new car, think twice, as in Bay Ridge Nissan.
And Nissan of Manhattan.
The combined strength of 2 of New York's biggest Nissan dealers can offer you easy, low-cost financing.
With twice the selection, twice the credit available. That means our prices just can't be beat, and we can prove it.
Just bring in any ad. 2 times the service.
2 times the savings.
So come in and see how the power of 2 makes beating any price twice as nice.
When I was a young pup, I learned how to sniff out the pick of the pre-owned Lexus litter and how to be a woman or man's best friend when it came to finding the lowest prices. Now that I'm older, I look back on my pedigree and feel pride in the thousands of people who've lapped up the savings I've pointed them to. Like a dog with a bone, I won't stop until you find the model, year, and color you'll love or exchange it within 48 hours with our worry-free exchange policy. Don't get me wrong, working like a dog to hunt down the perfect pre-owned Lexus for you wasn't all hard work.
The in crowd. They know the in spots, the in places, inside and out. They know the beautiful people, and they know how to get there in style. The in crowd, those who choose Infinity of Manhattan. In Manhattan, yet in keeping with low price and high quality, and inviting the tri-state area to save on the G25X at an insider's price of only $259 per month. So get into the in crowd. Get into Infinity of Manhattan.
Time for the Toyota text poll. And today's question is, what has been the most surprising individual storyline during the Mets season so far? Your choices are: number 1, R.A. Dickey's dominance. Number 2, Santana's no-hitter. Number 3, Wright's resurgence. Text your vote to 42951. Standard text messaging rates apply. What do you think, David? It has to be R.A. Dickey, right? 9-1?
Well, I think overall, R.A. Dickey, I mean, the Mets have waited a long time for a no-hitter, and it's been well documented. But when you talk about the overall season, R.A. Dickey is an amazing story.
Count 1-1. I really believe when you see the Mets are 32-28. When you see the lineup that they're running out there today, line drive, a base hit down the left field line. Andrew Jones plays the carom. They'll fire in, and Hairston has a double. I was going to say, David, I think Terry Collins is doing some job.
Well, he really is, and they're looking for anybody in that lineup to provide production to go with David Wright, and Lucas Duda's got some pop, but this guy, Scott Hairston, 8 home runs this year, kind of under the radar, a good year for the Mets.
So here's Lucas Duda. One of the lefties he keeps in the lineup against Pettit.
But I agree with you, Michael. Terry Collins, he just has done a wonderful job with the Mets. He's got them right in the thick of the race, and the further this goes on and the more magic he can pull out, and of course that Mets rotation carrying him as well, the more that team's going to start to believe. And you know what they say with the Mets, you got to believe, right?
They've said that a number of times. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, said Tim Cheetah.
We'll get a look from the side. A hitter says no. I'm a pitcher. I say yes because the bat head's in the strike zone and almost in front of the plate. That's a good call in my book.
2-2. Count full at 3-2.
Be a different story next year. Just 3 interleague games between the Mets and the Yankees as Houston moves to a different league, to the American League, to even things out. So this will be the last year you see the Mets and Yankees playing 6 times in 1 year.
Three-two. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Pettit. Keeps Hairston at second base.
Well, what do you call this pitch? Back in the day, Andy called it his cutter, but that's more slider-like break. You can see the tilt. It's more sweeping. You see the grip, the horseshoe, the turn of the wrist, the 4 seams tumbling over. And what a great shot in Yesmo. You can see it looked like it was right on the outer part of the plate. By the time it gets there, it's in the dirt.
Here's Vinny Rotino playing first base today. It was a big lead for Hairston. You know, talk to Pettit about his success so far, 3-2, 2.78. He's not surprised. He said, I wouldn't have come back unless I thought I was going to be good. But what does surprise him, all the strikeouts. He said that he doesn't understand. That's out of nowhere. Maybe he just is a smarter pitcher on the mound.
Well, I think so. I think it goes hand in hand when you're aggressive and you're in attack mode. And Andy, since he has come back, has just been a fast worker, strike 1, strike 2. And you see through the first 5 starts of the season, this is the most that he's ever had in his career. And you combine that with fewer walks as well. We talked about his strikeout to walk ratio in the scouter report. 4.61 strikeouts to every walk, almost double his career rate.
The way he's pitched since coming back, you would think that maybe he regrets sitting out the year and retiring, but I asked him that, and he said absolutely not. I'm so happy I did it. I got to spend a year with my family, he said, and now I'm back. He said, no, I would not take anything back. And I also get the feeling, I don't know if you sense this, David, I don't think it's just this 1 year and then out. I think he's ready to pitch for a while if his body holds up.
Well, that's the payoff at the end of this thing, is that Andy's throwing so well, and if he can stay healthy, why not think about another year?
2-0. Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Hairston round third. He's coming home. He will score. The throw comes into second. It's an RBI single for Rotino, and it's 1-0 Mets.
Sometimes the ground balls have eyes, and Pettit gets it over the middle of the plate a little too much. Vinny Rotino hitting 167 coming into this. You see it's about 3 hops and through the middle. Clean base hit and an RBI, and that's got to feel good.
Here's Quintanilla. He's looked good in these 2 games. Yesterday he was robbed of an extra base hit. A great running play in left center field by Curtis Granderson. Runner goes. Pitches a strike. Throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Vinny Rotino.
Well, Andy Pettit's got the most pickoffs in the history of the game since it became a stat, and the way you do it is just like Rotino just did. You guess and you go off a first move. 1, 2, 3 steps. Andy with a high leg kick and easily in there. The foot beats it, but here, keep the glove on the foot just in case it slides off. He did.
One nothing Mets. We're in the second. 1-2. He's allowed a stolen base in each of his last 4 starts. And the last time he played baseball in 2010, he allowed 2 steals in 21 starts. What do you make of that?
Well, yeah, that's the pattern with Andy. I mean, he's got a high leg kick and a great pickoff move. And the way you steal off of him is like a hitter guessing, looking for a fastball. You just go off of the first move. You see the high leg kick go up and you take off. And you know, there might be a little read in there that the Mets may have, whether he's turning his head one way or another. Always looking for a little tip off, but he's kind of guess with Andy, and you can get a big jump.
He's had 99 pickoffs in his career. As David said, that's the most since they've kept that stat.
The big high leg kick from the stretch sets you up for a good pickoff move, but if you go home, it's a long delivery. So plenty of time to get a jump. Quintanilla has gotten some good at bats this whole series. He's a good college player for the University of Texas, part of the 02 national championship team.
Missed outside. Quintanilla walks.
See Andy trying to find out where that pitch was. A lot of squawking. Russell Martin setting up late and away. Probably got that ball down, maybe a little off the plate. Very close.
Here's Mike Nickius, hitless in his last 10 at bats, hitting 141. And a strike to Nickius. Ground ball and off the glove of Cano. Everybody is safe. Cano was trying to field and then reach for the bag and get the double play, and neither happened.
Well, that's exactly right. You know, playing up the middle, holding the runner on second base. This looks like a base hit up the middle. Might have got a piece of Andy, but a big hop off the heel of Cano's glove. And as Michael said, he was probably thinking a little bit ahead, trying to turn the double play, and not sure if that got Andy or not. You see right off the heel of the glove as he's almost arranging his body to turn and step on second base. This is where your third base coach earns his money, because after the bobble, he easily could have been picked off a third, rounding too far.
So that scored an E4, and that's going to bring up Jordany Valdespin. 0-1.
A lot of syllables on the Mets' last 3 hitters in this order.
Quintanilla, Yankees, and Valdespin. Base hit inside first and down the right field line. Rotino scores. Quintanilla scores. Yankees will stop at third. And Valdespin with a 2-run double, giving the Mets a 3-0 lead.
A lot of syllables and a lot of action from the bottom of the Mets order. And a pretty good pitch. Andy busted him up and in. Valdespin quick and keeping it fair. And of course the configuration of Yankee Stadium, you got a little nook and a cranny right there, and it bounces straight out. And anybody else but the Mets catcher today running probably would have scored.
Infield meets on the mound with Larry Rothschild holding the meeting. Just settling things down for Andy Pettitte. So just like that, the Mets have 3 runs here in the top of the 2nd inning. Andres Torres grounded out to short in the first. The Yankees play the infield in at the corners, back at second and short. Count 1-0 to Torres.
It's a very important part of the game this early too, with only 1 out. Mets already with the 3 spot. Andy Pettitte trying to limit it right here.
Count 2-0.
Kind of felt Michael coming into today. This is a huge game for the Mets, you know, with Johan Santana getting blown out in the Friday game, and then a tough loss yesterday. The Mets could get today, they'd feel a lot better about themselves.
.26 pitches so far in this inning for Pettitte. And he walked him on 4 pitches to load the bases.
Haven't seen that too much this year. A 4-pitch walk from Andy Pettitte. But he does set up the double play here with Jason Bay. And Andy Pettitte is very adept at getting double play balls.
Be interesting to see if he can get Bay to hit the ball on the ground. Boy, he hits a lot of fly balls. He had one in the first inning deep to left center. Oh for 8 in this series.
Another big change in Andy Pettitte since he's come back. He's definitely calling his own pitches. You see him shake off Russell Martin there twice.
Strike. Backdoor breaking ball.
That's a great way to get a quick strike. Go to the curveball. Now you can go to work with a strike under your belt.
Quickly 0-2.
Now your strategy changes a little bit if you're Pettitte. You're thinking strikeout now. Coming into this at bat, as Michael said, Jason Bay more of a fly ball hitter, but double play, not so much now. Now you're trying to make a really good pitch.
Now 1-2. .30 pitches this inning so far for Pettitte. The 1-2. Now he's got to make it happen on 2-2. You got the dangerous David Wright on deck.
Back-to-back sliders down and in, and Jason Bay just sitting on them, not even offering. So on the mound, you got to change your strategy. Maybe go back away, try to backdoor a pitch.
Swing and a miss, he got him. Big strikeout.
Well, good read of the bat, and indeed it was. And this is the four-seamer, which is more like Andy's cutter. You see there's a little left to right movement on that 88-mile-an-hour pitch. And it starts off the plate. And you almost see Bay opening up, guarding against the cutter in or the sliders in, and Pettit very effective, going away, backdooring just around the edge. Jason Bay caught off guard.
Here's David Wright, and a strike. Oh, 0-2. David Wright, the ninth Met to come to the plate in the inning. Mets have been good with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year. Second in the National League, 4th in the majors. The 0-2. Same thing he tried to do with Jason Bay. Let's see if he goes with another slider on 1-2.
Yeah, it's almost like Andy's four-seam fastball has become the cutter, and the cutter has become the slider.
1-2. He gets him. He strikes him out. But the Mets bats come alive here in the second inning. Vinny Rottino drives in Scott Hairston. And then Quintanilla. And then Valdez. And it's 3-0 Mets. See ya! Alex Rodriguez, the youngest man ever to get to 600 home runs.
Fans, come on to Yankee Stadium on Wednesday afternoon, June 20th, when the Yankees take on the Braves in an interleague matchup. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a limited edition Hard Rock Cafe Yankee Stadium pin, the third in the series. The 2012 New York Yankees. Heroes remembered, legends born.
We've got the cars and the savings. Now let's bring on the tent. High gas prices, bring it on. Hyundai is America's most fuel-efficient car company. Passengers, bring them all. The Veracruz Fit 7. Safety, try award-winning safety with a Santa Fe in Tucson. Now get a Santa Fe for 0% APR plus $500 customer cash back, or lease one for $269 a month. You'll also get Hyundai Assurance, including America's best warranty. Your local Hyundai dealer's ready to bring on the tent. Now all we need is you.
Life lived in black and white is not a life lived. Today, I choose color. To see it. To feel it. To be in it. To be upon it. And to live a life surrounded by it. Today, I put on a fresh coat. Now try on your perfect color with a buy one, get one pint sample coupon.
Life should be equal parts responsibility and fun. Introducing the new Acura ILX. Move up without settling down.
Come out to Yankee Stadium Monday, June 18th for a special giveaway when the Yankees take on the Braves in an intra-league matchup. The first 18,000 fans in attendance receive a Yankees water bottle courtesy of Delta Airlines. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Here's Alex Rodriguez. Pitches outside. Andy Pettit threw 7 pitches in the first inning and 36 pitches in the second. Mets bat around. They score 3. They leave the bases loaded. One of the runs of the 3 unearned because of the error by Cano. Count 3-0 to Alex.
It could have been a lot worse too. Andy Pettit limiting the damage last inning with 2 strikeouts.
Four out of the zone to Alex, so a leadoff walk here in the second. And that's going to bring up Cano. Now, David told you this in the scouting report. Lefties don't hit Nice. We've already seen Granderson pop up to third, so lefties so far this year, 5 for 31 against Nice. But Robinson Cano had 2 home runs against the lefty on Friday. The lefty was just throwing a no-hitter, Johan Santana.
And of course, the cardinal sin for a pitcher after you were spotted a three runs in the top of the second, you walk the leadoff hitter on 4 pitches.
Cano was stepping out as the pitch was being delivered, and the pitch way outside. He's not allowed a home run to a lefty this season. 1 allowed in his last 29 starts, and Nikias wants to talk with him quickly. Six straight out of the zone. There's a strike, count 2-1. Fouled away.
No, you're a young pitcher, a lefty pitching in Yankee Stadium, Michael, and you get 3 runs scored for you, and you can see he's just a little excitable. Just, you know, a little quick. Now he's gotten it back, 2 quick strikes to Cano. But almost a little over anxious with the prosperity of 3 runs.
That one is looped into left field, a base hit. First 2 on for the Yankees. First and second, nobody out for Swisher.
Right down the middle. Cano fights it off. You know, when Cano's going good, he hits the fastball the other way and pulls the off-speed pitches, generally speaking. That's been his formula. As you remember, the slider that Johan Santana threw him for the 2nd home run on Friday night.
Nick Swisher, 6 hits in his last 17 at-bats. He slipped and fires the third to get the force.
Well, this is one area the Yankees have not done a good job this year. As Swisher looks like he takes it upon himself to try to move the runners over with a bunt, but right back to the pitcher. And Nice had all day to nail Alex at third.
I don't get that, Dave. You down 3 runs, the guy's a home run hitter. Why are you bunting there?
Yanks were just 5 for 14 in sacrifice bunts this year. Only 5 successful attempts. Make that 5 for 15. So that's a pretty low rate, under 40%.
Pitch inside to Andrew Jones.
League average, as I mentioned on Friday night, the league average for sacrifice bunt attempts and success rate is about 60%. The Yankees now at 33% on the year.
So Jones gets himself into a fastball count here. And that's what he does. And there's a strike. Now 2-2. Over the first 3 innings, 5.73 ERA, so you must get to him early. And then after the 3rd inning, he pitches in an ERA to the low 2s. That's why the bunt makes even less sense. And he strikes out Andrew Jones. 2 away.
Kind of sneaky fast, just off the plate. 93 miles an hour. Neese could pump it up when he needs to. Andrew Jones reaching, not getting there.
Here's Russell Martin, starting to pick it up. 10 hits in his last 28 at-bats. 1-0. Mets locked up Neese on April 7th. They signed him to a 5-year contract with 2 team option years. So he's essentially under their control until 2018. Two and one. That's what you do with left-handers.
One of the first curveballs we've seen from Neese. He's had a little bit of control problems these first couple of innings. 15 balls and 14 strikes.
First and second, 2 outs. Bottom of the second. There's a fastball strike, 2-2. Went off speed there, and the count still 2-2.
So nice comeback by Neese here. Now he's in a position after walking the first guy on 4 pitches and first and second and nobody out, with the help of the bunt and giving an out. He's got a chance to get right out of this and retain that 3-0 lead.
And he does. He strikes out Russell Martin. So the Yankees get the first 2 base runners on. They don't get it done. No runs a hit. 2 men left. Scott Hairston will lead off the 3rd.
All your life, you've been trading up. You exchanged the 3rd floor walk-up for the house you had your heart set on. So now that you're comfortably situated in life, let's talk about your car.
For a limited time during the Lincoln Exchange sales event, trade up to a luxurious Lincoln MKX with intuitive technology that responds to your voice and touch. Now, lease a 2012 Lincoln MKX for $419 a month, including a $1,000 exchange bonus. Only at your Lincoln dealer.
Hey, Terry and Joe, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Dunkin' Ice Mocha. I'm drinking Dunkin' Ice Caramel. Large when we're playing these guys.
Any advantage you can get, huh?
For bragging rights this city, definitely.
New York rivalries run on Dunkin' Iced Coffee.
3, 2, 1, Bungee! Don't tell anyone.
Up to 30 times optical zoom and HD movie and photo. Fujifilm digital cameras.
This summer, win a legendary voyage to Heineken destinations around the world. Head to your local participating retailer for details.
There are some baseball moments you just never forget.
The big 3-2 pitch coming here. Swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run.
Chevrolet is proud to be the official vehicle of Major League Baseball and equally proud to be building the next generation of memories. From backyards to the big leagues, Chevy runs deep.
Find your local dealer at ChevyOffers.com.
The Sunday game of the week brought to you in part by Benjamin Moore. Visit BenjaminMoore.com/promo for $5 off a gallon of Benjamin Moore paints and stains. Now here's the guy who started off the second inning when the Mets batted around and scored 3. Scott Hairston. He opened up the inning with a double to left. Mets played well in day games, 17-8 in games under the sun. Overall, they're 32 and 28. Lincoln scoreboard 3-0. Mets lead the Yanks. As you look at the standings today in the East, the Mets are 3.5 games behind first place Washington. And the Yankees are half game behind first place Tampa Bay. They're essentially tied, same amount of losses. And Interleague certainly makes strange bedfellows because the Yankees will play Atlanta, and there's the AL East standings. And obviously Met fans will want the Yankees to beat Atlanta. And the Mets go to play Tampa Bay. So Yankee fans will want the Mets to beat Tampa Bay. In fact, Met fans might have to root for the Yankees all week. First, they have 3 in Atlanta, then 3 in D.C. against the Nationals. Count full at 3-2.
Another good at bat for Scott Hairston, the veteran. Came in hitting .359 versus lefties this year. 7 of his home runs also.
That one is looped into right field. It's a base hit. Placed beautifully. Hairston's 2 for 2.
Well, there's a lot of sabermetricians out there that try to quantify the luck factor. Sometimes it's hard to do. 3-2, he's protecting, he gets beat. Fist right, just enough to get to the outfield grass. You know, hitters say, hey, I fought it off. That's good hitting. Pitchers are feeling a little unlucky on the mound.
Here's Lucas Duda. Sometimes interleague play is very tough to figure out. We know the Yankees have 6 games against the Mets this year. But they also have 6 games against the Braves. And you have to wonder, why do they have 6 games against the Braves? So they have 3 in Atlanta and 3 here when they come back from the road trip. And then you throw in 3 against the Reds. There doesn't seem to be rhyme or reason to how they made the schedule up. Why the Reds? Why was the Reds thrown in there? That's in fact the 2nd year in a row they've played the Reds. And it also puts baseball at warring purposes. You want the unbalanced schedule so you don't have to travel as much. But then you want the balanced schedule because if you're playing for wild cards, you want everybody to have the same schedule they have to deal with. So what's right, what's wrong, what do you really want more? And as David mentioned earlier, next year, every day there's going to be an interleague game because there's going to be 15 teams in each league. And with an odd number of teams, an American League team is always going to play a National League team.
Yeah, I believe having only 4 teams in the American League West was one of the biggest mistakes going in baseball. One of the most unfair things going. So that will be rectified next year with Houston making the move to the American League.
Why didn't you like the 4? I don't get it. What bothered you about that?
Well, I just think it just gave an unfair advantage to the American League West. If you're the Angels or anybody out there, you've got one less team to battle for a division title.
Mm-hmm. The 0-2. And it also was very difficult travel for Texas. Now at least they'll have 9 games that they only have to travel to Houston. All the games that have to travel to the West Coast. And it also helps their television because the games against their own division, they weren't in the right time slot for the most fans to watch in Texas. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Duda down on strikes. So 1 down, and that's going to bring up Rotino. Mets really making Andy work. In fact, in his last 4 starts, he's given the Yankees at least 7 innings each time. And right now he's at 54 pitches here in the 3rd. Strike.
You know, we pay attention to pitch count so much more nowadays, and if you're in the Yankee bullpen, you're paying attention too. If you're David Phelps or one of the Yankees middle relievers, you're well aware of what's going on here. You start to anticipate the flow of this game and maybe think, hey, I got a chance to get in this game. Andy true to form. Got a little growth working, and he will shave after the game.
And they haven't picked off. And Hairston is tagged out. So that's called the caught stealing.
Just taking off. Jump the gun. And Andy Pettitte could almost walk up and kiss him on the cheek.
Different guys take different routes to the big leagues. Vinny Rottino attended the University of Wisconsin at Madison and will become a pharmacist. Then he attended a rally, attended a tryout for the Brewers, and eventually signed with Milwaukee.
That's how I got my start, Michael. You know, the high school I went to did not have a baseball team. So I went to a couple of tryout camps, got drafted by my hometown Kansas City Royals.
Why wouldn't your high school not have a baseball team?
It was budgetary reasons. You know, they were short on money, and so I just played in summer leagues, actually against college guys. There was a summer league in the Midwest for 21 and under kids, and I was 15 playing in that league.
Swing and a foul tip, held on to by Russell Martin, and that'll do it in the 3rd. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Coming up for the Yankees, Jason Nix will start it off.
Interleague play heats up in Atlanta when the Bombers kick off a 3-game set with the Braves. Complete coverage starts tomorrow at 6:30 only on Yes.
Direct injection. 265 foot-pounds of torque. All part of an engine built to effortlessly power through whatever challenge lies around the corner, no matter where that corner happens to be. The 308 horsepower Cadillac SRX, the most powerful standard engine in any luxury crossover.
Now lease a 2012 SRX for $399 a month. Visit CadillacTristate.com for this attractive offer.
When you first got internet at home, you probably had one thing online. But today, everything's online. In a few years, the number of devices in your home will double. And what we're doing online takes internet speed. Not every network can handle it. Verizon Fios is 100% fiber optic, so it's faster and can handle it. Fios is America's fastest, most consistent, most reliable internet, period. Do you have the speed you need? Take the speed test now at verizon.com/up-to-speed.
Do you work for Toyota?
Yes.
Is it true the 2012 Camry has a lot of new features but costs less than last year?
Yes.
How is that even possible? I mean, is this thing even working? Do you find yourself uncontrollably attracted to me?
No.
No, it's working.
Lease the 35 MPG rated Toyota Camry for just $199 a month and get a lot for less. Toyota.
Today on a new episode of Yankees on Deck presented by Blimpie, Eric Chavez gives local little leaguers some helpful hints.
Wherever that ball is going to be, you want to find it with your nose.
Plus, Phil Hughes shows you the art of keeping a runner on base.
Holding the runners are an important part of the game.
An all-new episode premieres today after the Joe Girardi Show, only on Yes.
Check out YesNetwork.com's Game Connect our social networking app that lets Yankee fans interact with each other and the broadcast booth while watching the game. See what other fans are tweeting about and get up-to-the-minute scores and in-depth pitch-by-pitch stats, all at YesNetwork.com. Jason Nix leads off. Pitch is high. Moments ago, Joe Girardi had a little talk with Nick Swisher. And I'm sure a lot of that is, why did you bunt? Ground ball through for base hit for Jason Nix.
Hunting the fastball, gets it, finds the hole. Perfectly placed. Quintanilla's got some range. I didn't think he had any chance to get there. Almost did.
Lincoln scoreboard has the Mets up 3-0. Yankees going for a sweep, and the Mets trying to salvage the final game of this three-game set. Here's Derek Jeter. Yankees are 51-35 in regular season games against the Mets, and they're 13-2 in series here in the Bronx, including this one, which they've already taken. Now just looking for the sweep. Count 2-0.
Well, you would expect Derek Jeter to be your pick to click today with his career numbers off of lefties and career against the Mets. I mean, the numbers go on and on. Jeter's just worn out the Mets, and he's worn out left-handed pitching his whole career, and in a good spot here, 2-0 with a man on first.
Looks like a double play. There's one, and there's two. Derek, really in his first extended slump of this year, got off the mark so hot, hitting in the 400s, and his numbers have kind of dive bombed down to 311 right now. In this series, he's 1 for 12.
Good 2-0 pitch from Nice there.
Here's Granderson. Since May 8th, so a month and 2 days, Jeter's now hitting .228. And I don't know if you could read that much into it, get alarmed. I just think it's a natural self-correction. He's not going to hit 420. So if he's a 300 hitter, he's going to have these slumps. High fly ball. Torres makes the catch, and that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Quintanilla will lead off against Andy Pettit.
Okay, Chevy Equinox. What do we got?
32 MPG Highway, an IIHS 2012 top safety pick.
And thanks to a sliding multi-flex seat, the most rear seat legroom in its class.
Excellent, Kyle.
I still see you, Kyle.
Now, very well qualified lessees of a 1999 or newer non-GM vehicle can get a 2012 Equinox LS for around $199 per month. Fuel economy based on EPA estimates.
Queensboro Toyota, your neighborhood dealership since 1967. Come see our wide choice of Toyota cars, SUVs, and vans to fit your lifestyle. Our salespeople make it easy to drive away today. No credit? No problem. Queensboro gets you financing. Service and sales at the same location. We're your one-stop shop. Drive home in your new Toyota today. Choose a certified pre-owned from our large indoor showroom.
Mention Jennifer and get $100 towards your new car purchase.
Stop by today.
Only a Honda is a Honda sales event is going on right now. And Hillside Honda is the dealer to show you why a Honda is a Honda. Drive any new 2012 Honda from Hillside Honda today for $0 down with 0.9 APR financing or zero due at lease signing. For complete details, go to hillsidehonda.com. That's right, drive any new 2012 Honda from Hillside Honda today for $0 down with 0.9 APR financing or zero due at lease signing. It's only a Honda is a Honda sales event going on right now at Hillside Honda in Queens, New York. Click hillsidehonda.com or call for complete details.
Dish Network can claim what they want, but America consistently chooses DirecTV. For the best television experience, DirecTV beats Dish hands down. But don't just take our word for it. Over the last 3 years, for every customer Dish gained, DirecTV gained 8 times more. In fact, more people chose DirecTV last year than all cable and satellite companies combined. Sorry, Dish, 30 million customers can't be wrong. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
He's been great. I mean, obviously he's been pitching fantastic, and you know what he brings off the field as well is just a veteran guy, competitor, a guy that you can ask anything, and he's probably got an answer for you. So yeah, I mean, he's been pitching great, and it doesn't even say what he brings in the clubhouse.
Phil Hughes on Andy Pettitte. Phil won the game yesterday. Andy Pettitte trailing 3-0 today as we go to the fourth. You've seen two sides of Andy Pettitte. When he first came up and you were here in '95, that was a young Andy Pettitte, probably kept his mouth shut. Now people look to him for information.
Yeah, and he's very comfortable in that role as well.
That one is driven out to left field. Jones back, makes the play. Quintanilla has some life in his bat. He really does. Been impressive.
Going away. It's up and out over the plate. Quintanilla hits that ball well. Andruw Jones turn and run. Right to the track.
3-0 on the Benjamin Moore scoreboard, top of the fourth inning.
Well, New Yorkers aren't getting tired of interleague play. Once again, baseball fans in New York have loved interleague play since 1997. They can come out and show it.
Well, the numbers speak for themselves. Yankees had one sellout before this week, and I believe this is a sellout. And the Friday and Saturday were sellouts as well. Got the Yankee and Met contingents in the ballpark.
You can kind of just see it too, walking around Manhattan. The Mets hats come out, the Yankee T-shirts come out a little bit more during this series.
Hammered down the left field line, foul. Actually, came to the game yesterday as a fan, sat in the stands, and the discourse wasn't as nasty as it was at the beginning. I think people are a lot more chill about it, and I think it was nice. Met fans sitting next to Yankee fans. Certainly no fights that I could tell. Granderson calls off Nix for the second out. Time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Here's the question. Who are the 4 Hall of Famers who at one time in their careers played for the Mets and another New York baseball team?
Well, that opens it up. Got some good trivia questions this weekend.
Valdespin swings and misses. Valdespin's first major league hit was a pinch hit 3-run home run in the 9th inning against Jonathan Papelbon of the Phillies. That was on May 7th. Nice way to break in. Did he go? Tim Cheetah didn't move. Didn't really do much except maybe shake his head. Let's see. Don't knock yourself out, Tim. Count 1 and 2. Last time the Yankees swept the Mets at Yankee Stadium was in 2003, so it's been a while. And now they're down 3-0. Swing and a miss. Valdespin strikes out. The putout has made it first, so it's a strikeout, 2-3. Who's coming up in the bottom of the 4th inning? It's the heart of the order after Valdespin strikes out. It's Teixeira, A-Rod, and Cano.
Coors Light Silver Bullet Special Edition can. Same cold refreshment, cool new look for summer. Frost brewed Coors Light, the summer's most refreshing beer.
This Father's Day, color his world with a perfect gift from Nautica at Macy's. Like his favorite knit shirt from $39.99. Classic Nautica shorts from $34.99. A signature sports shirt for Dad from $44.99. And Nautica swim trunks just $39.99. Make this Father's Day his most memorable with perfect gifts from Nautica. Right now at Macy's. And introducing Nautica Aqua Rush, the new fragrance for men.
What's that? When I take a picture of this check, it goes straight to the bank.
Oh.
Oh, look, the line's out.
No, Mommy, no!
Don't worry, honey. It only works on checks.
Deposit checks from your smartphone with Chase Quick Deposit. Just snap a picture, hit send, and done. Take a step forward and chase what matters.
The crossover. We have the technology to rebuild it. SkyActiv technology makes it stronger than it was before, with advanced safety features that make it an IIHS top safety pick, and innovations like blind spot monitoring. The all-new Mazda CX-5 will be that crossover. Better, stronger, smarter. We build Mazdas. You drive.
Time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Question: who are the 4 Hall of Famers who at one time in their careers played for the Mets and another New York baseball team, which means the Giants, Dodgers, or the Yankees? And the answer is Yogi Berra, Willie Mays, Duke Snyder, and Rickey Henderson. Mark Teixeira leads off, and there's a strike. You like cotton candy, David?
Oh, my. Support your local dentist.
He's got a cup of soda there that Mayor Bloomberg would not be in line for, I'll tell you that. One. Right up the middle and through for a base hit.
The pitchers are about 55 feet close to home plate. And watch, the skip almost comes after the ball goes by. There's just not enough reaction time. Right on the butt. Right on by. Skip the rope.
Now we've seen Hiroki Kuroda get nailed on a comebacker, and he said he's going to be okay. They don't think he's going to miss the start. Benjamin Moore scoreboard, 3-0 Mets. A couple of injury updates. Bad news on Brett Gardner. Woke up, his elbow still hurting him. They're going to send him for more tests, and Joe Jory said we can't even expect when he's going to get back. You know, hopefully it'll be sometime soon, but you know, I don't think they're really optimistic. But they'll see what the further tests show. And then with David Robertson, looks like he could be back for the weekend in D.C., and that really completes the puzzle out in the bullpen.
Yep, good news, bad news.
High drive, right center, Torres back. He's on the track. He'll make the play in front of the wall. So Alex gave it a ride, but not enough.
Jonathan Neese, a little changeup right down the middle. Carrying, stop carrying. Thought for a minute, maybe. Got to be kidding me. You know, the Brett Gardner news sort of sent Yankee fans in a tizzy, and all the blogs lighting up with the Yankees going to have to go get an outfielder now. You know, a lot of talk out there about what the Yankees do next.
No, I asked Joe Girardi that, and you'll hear it on the WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show after the postgame. He said, I'm just going to, at least for the next week, he said, I'm going to platoon Ibanez and Jones in left field. He goes, because we really don't have a true designated hitter. He said, so I don't think it costs us anything in National League cities. But it'll be interesting, especially now that the starters seem like they've straightened themselves out. Everybody kind of thought, well, the Yankees are going to go out and get a starter. Maybe they don't need that. Maybe they spend some of their young talent to get an outfielder. But it's very frustrating for them with Gardner because they keep thinking he's close, and then the elbow acts up again. Overpowered Cano with the fastball, 2 away.
Well, this is what you do. 0-2, up the ladder, above the letters. Looks too good. The grip, looks like he almost had a little cutter grip there. You see Robbie trying to tomahawk that pitch.
Here's Nick Swisher in the second inning. Yankees had something going. First and second, and nobody out against Nice. He was struggling just a bit, struggling finding the plate, and Swisher inexplicably tried to bunt. And he bunted back to Nice, and Nice threw to third, and Alex Rodriguez wasn't expecting a bunt, wasn't even close, so the force was there. Count 1-1.
You see, see the horseshoe right here. The horseshoe is right where you usually hold a cutter. You see, that's not a four-seam grip, so that was a cutter that Nice threw. Kind of got away with it. It was up and out of the zone. Sometimes you get lucky as a pitcher, too. And the hitter helps you out. That wasn't too good a telestrator work by me there, Michael.
I liked it, though. I got it. Count 3-1 on Swisher. Andrew Jones on deck.
You know, Nice, a true four-pitch pitcher. That's why the Mets love him and his potential.
Swisher thought that was ball 4. It was not. So the count 3-2, that will release to Sherrod first.
Another cut fastball. Boy, right probably just above the belt. Definitely got enough plate. Ooh, closer to the letters than the belt. Yeah, the last pitch is called a strike. Almost the same pitch. You better swing. Exactly the same pitch.
Grounded to Quintanilla. Goes across the diamond to get Swisher, and that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left. Go to the 5th, top of the Met order against Andy Pettitte. They lead by 3.
All your life, you've been trading up. You exchanged the 3rd floor walk-up for the house you had your heart set on. So now that you're comfortably situated in life, let's talk about your car.
For a limited time during the Lincoln Exchange sales event, trade up to a luxurious Lincoln MKX with intuitive technology that responds to your voice and touch. Now, lease a 2012 Lincoln MKX for $419 a month, including a $1,000 exchange bonus. Only at your Lincoln dealer.
Hey, Terry and Joe, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Dunkin' Ice Mocha. I'm drinking Dunkin' Ice Caramel. Large when we're playing these guys.
Any advantage you can get, huh?
For bragging rights this city, definitely.
New York rivalries run on Dunkin' Iced Coffee.
Summer in New York State has something different for everyone to love. Discover what you love. Visit ilovenewyork.com to plan your summer trip now.
I have evidence that proves my dad's a space alien. Speaks a weird language. Drinks green stuff. He says he's from Albuquerque. I'm not buying it. I mean, just look at him. And one more thing. He has a spaceship. The evidence doesn't lie. My dad's an alien.
The highly advanced Audi A6, named to car and drivers 10 best. Experience exceptional value on the Audi A6 at your local dealer today.
Hi, everyone. Bob Lorenz with your Audi update. Rays and Marlins in Miami, and in the top of the fourth, 2-0 Rays, and Elliott Johnson makes it 4-0. Off the fabulous lime green wall in the bullpen, it's a 2-run homer, his fourth of the year. Matt Joyce has homered as well, and James Shields, who had lost 3 in a row coming in, has allowed just 1 hit to the Marlins through 4.
Thank you, Bob. We'll hear from Bob a little bit later on with more updates. In the road, take the Yankees with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today. See every Yankees out-of-market game live, online, and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Yankees.com to order. Get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. So Torres takes a pitch out of the zone. The count is now 1-0. We start the fifth. Yankees down 3-0. Pettit deals. 1-1.
A big inning for Pettit to try to catch up in that pitch count.
And he strikes out Torres. I said we'd hear from Bob later. I didn't know this quick. Here he is.
I'm not going away, Michael. Blue Jays and Braves, the next opponent, obviously, for the Yankees. And Atlanta's on the board first. David Ross, base hit off Ricky Romero that scored Matt Diaz. 2-0 Atlanta at that point. Chipper Jones just grounded into an RBI double play. It's now 3-0.
Yankees will see the Braves tomorrow night. The pitch to Jason Bay is outside. 1-0. Bay 0 for 2, 0 for 9 since coming up the DL. On the DL since late April. Fractured a rib in his left rib cage.
See Andy now, 78 pitches at the top of the fifth. He's got a chance to sort of squeeze that margin after that long second inning.
Knicks. Bay hustling down the line. 2 outs. Hey, stay tuned during the 6th inning for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network. Here's David Wright. He is 0 for 2, grounded to second, and then struck out a big strikeout as Andy kept the game in check. He had the bases loaded, and he struck out Bay and struck out Wright in that second inning. This ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit.
Andy talking to himself on the mound. I tell you what, there's been a lot of ground balls that have found holes off of Andy today. And that will get you talking to yourself.
Pick off, throw to second, got him. Now that's called the caught stealing, not a pickoff, because the runner did head back to first. So that scored 1-3. And then Teixeira will fire to Cano. 1-3-4. End of the inning.
Interleague play heats up in Atlanta when the Bombers kick off a 3-game set with the Braves. Complete coverage starts tomorrow at 6:30 only on Guess.
Rodriguez, the youngest man ever to get to 600 home runs.
Fans, come on to Yankee Stadium on Monday, June 25th for Yankee Stadium tradition. It's Cap Night when the Yankees take on Cleveland. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees cap, courtesy of Cannon. The 2012 New York Yankees. Heroes remembered, legends born.
Life should be equal parts responsibility and fun. Introducing the new Acura ILX. Move up without settling down.
3, 2, 1, bungee!
Don't tell anyone.
Up to 30 times optical zoom and HD movie and photo. Fujifilm digital cameras.
3 months after you quit smoking, your lung function improves up to 30%. But right now, you're 1 day closer to emphysema. Every cigarette makes you sick. For help, call 311.
Your flagship station for New York sports is The Fan. Boomer and Carton mornings 6 to 10. Benigno and Roberts middays 10 to 1. Mic'd Up with Mike Francesa afternoons 1 to 6:30. Plus Mets baseball and Giants football. That's Sports Radio 66 WFAN, New York's #1 sports station.
There's a shot of the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar situated in center field. The Mohegan Sun Sports Bar is a great place to gather and enjoy the game. Well, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Mets leading 3-0. Mets scored all 3 runs in a rocky 2nd inning for Andy Pettitte, but he has settled down. Jonathan Neese has done a good job through 4. Now face the bottom 3rd of the Yankee order, starting with Andrew Jones. 1-0. Drops it in there for a strike.
Excellent pitch. Back-to-back curveballs. Took a little off the second one. 71 miles an hour.
One and two.
It's one of the keys with young pitchers that you're trying to teach them how to pitch, especially starters. And you start a hitter off with a curveball and you miss, to be able to come right back with it and throw it for a strike. Double up. A very effective strategy. Jonathan Neese starting to get into more of a pitcher's mode now, mixing his pitches.
Jonathan Neese had a very strange arrangement with a former teammate, Carlos Beltran. Beltran used to ride him much of last year. Swing and a miss. About Neese's nose. And he said to Neese, if you get a nose job, I will pay for it. Well, Neese got a nose job. I think it cost $5 grand. And there's the difference between the two noses. And Carlos Beltran paid for the procedure. It's an awful name for a nose job, rhinoplasty.
Think he got his money's worth?
Took the little bump off in the middle. Well, he got his money's worth. He didn't pay a dime.
The whirly-bird, rather. The big, long swing of Andrew Jones, letting go of the bat. Look at how long that comes around. Just misses him in the head and catches him on top of the forearm.
Count 1-0 to Russell Martin. He struck out in the 2nd inning. Neese's pitch total's in good shape. 64 pitches here in the 5th.
Neese has been true to form. We noted in the pregame and the scouting report that you got to get him early, get him in those first 3 innings. And he did. He kind of struggled with his control. Not now.
Swing and a miss. Martin down on strikes.
He's working it now. All 4 pitches are being mixed in. We saw predominantly fastballs early and wild. Right on the black at the knees. Perfect location. Truly a 4-pitch pitcher. He's got the fastball, cutter, a big hook, and a changeup. His first 30 pitches or so were predominantly fastballs, and a lot of them out of the zone.
Count 1-0 to Jason Nix, who singled his first time up. Nix has done a nice job hitting .265. Plays a variety of positions. 1-1.
Very nice. Once again, doubling up with the curveball. Becoming much more unpredictable at this point.
Nice has not allowed an extra base hit today. Just 3 singles. And also 1 walk. Count 1-2.
Getting a good feel for that hook. He lost the hook at his nose, but he's got the one in his hand.
Swing and a miss. He strikes out the side. An impressive 5th inning for Jonathan Nice as Andrew Jones, Russell Martin, and Jason Nix go down swinging. Scott Harrison leads off.
The Chevy Cruze has remote access. It can check my oil, life, and tire pressure all through my smartphone.
I wouldn't have thought of you as the techie gadget guy, Tim.
Why? Because I'm old?
Well, boss, you do call it my face.
Transferred your contacts from your old address book to your new rotary-style address book.
Ooh, rotary style.
Now, very well-qualified lessees of a 1999 or newer non-GM vehicle can get a 2012 Chevy Cruze LS for around $139 per month. EPA estimated 36 miles per gallon.
You know, I was 20 years old, and I had one of those pill cases from the drugstore, and I had the massive grandma size one, and the thing was just packed with pills. And then towards the end of senior year of college, my ulcerative colitis, it had exploded. And that's when we jumped on the plane, and we went up to New York Presbyterian, and I saw Dr. Sonoda, and I saw Dr. Bosworth, and they told me something completely different than what I'd been hearing. Instead of, you know, we're gonna put you on this medication, and if this doesn't work, then maybe we can find something else. I don't know. It was like, here's how we're gonna do it. And he said, you know, this is what I think we can do for you. I think you're an excellent candidate for surgery, and the surgery will change your life, and you'll be able to start living again and get back to where you were. If Dr. Snowden and the team were here, I'd get right up. I'd give him a big hug. The way I'll live the rest of my life, and hopefully the way I'll practice medicine will be, you know, my thank you to them.
We're going right here, right near Union Square Park. I'm an architect because I love cities and I love buildings. This used to be a cheese factory, right? All new steel structure on this floor. Coffee or no coffee? Pour the footing and you give yourself 2 inches. Technology, it really does influence how you interact with life. Hey, did you get that PowerPoint? That's a nice looking building. I think this is science fiction. Look at that.
The revolutionary Galaxy Note from Samsung.
Time for another look at today's Toyota text poll. The question was, what has been the most surprising individual storyline during the Mets season so far? And here's how you voted. 50% say Dickey's dominance, and 37% Santana's no-hitter, and a distant third, David Wright's resurgence. That's pretty much how we would have voted. Hairston's 2 for 2 today against Pettit. Rip foul. Three nothing Mets. 2-1. Hairston, Duda, and Rotino.
Pettit on the mound. That's just what you got to do. Hold him right there and hope your team gets some runs and comes back. Sort of the mentality on the bench. Keep it right there. did some damage control in that second inning too. Those 3 runs could be a lot worse. Stadium crowd unusually quiet, waiting for some action. Terry Collins said in his post-game press conference yesterday, he said singles don't win in this ballpark. I mean, he talked about the boom boom room, you know, Cano, boom boom, and the Yankees put some quick damage on the Mets in the first 2 games. I tell you, singles have worked so far in this game, especially when Jonathan Neese pitching.
Pettit bare hands it and flips to first. Now they'll worry. See if he's okay.
Gonna probably throw a pitch or 2 here. He seems to be okay, but you don't know. It's a little delayed effect there, but that is just instinct. Now, people at home or even on the bench might say, why did you do that? That's your pitching hand. You can't help yourself.
Hear the ball slap against the skin.
One hop and the stab.
And now they'll let him take some throws.
The key here is the feeling in the hand. Even if he's okay and there's no damage, you still lose. That loss of sensation could really be a hamper. Fingertip pressure, so important for pitchers. Subtle movements off your fingertips create the movement that you need. Smack of a Major League Baseball off your hand will certainly inhibit that feel.
A lot of talking out there right now, and I don't know if they're quite convinced. He keeps looking at the hand and then flexing it.
Still hurts. Let's try the curveball. Not sold. We'll see a little quivering of the hand.
He's gonna leave him in. You get the sense, David, that they're not quite sold. Seem a little worried.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's almost as Andy was scolding himself right away for snatching that ball. Andy's not really selling it too hard either. You see the worry on his face as well.
Here's Lucas Duda. Fly ball left field. Andrew Jones. Did he make the play? No, he did not.
Andy not selling me right here, Michael. I'm watching him closely here, and right after he throws the ball, you almost see a grimace and a shake of the hand. Andy's a tough competitor. You can see him. His mannerisms tell me that his hand is still bothering him.
You do that a lot, David, with the natural reaction ball back to the mound?
Yeah, it's just, it's instinct.
Do you ever get hurt?
Not really, no, but I never really had a situation quite like that one, you know, where there was a square direct hit on your pitching hand. But Andy's a tough guy, obviously. Does not want to come out of this game.
Swing and a miss. Strikes out Duda. So that's a strikeout, 2-3. Now let's look at the play normal speed off the bat of Hairston and listen as well. It's almost the sound of a ball hitting a glove. That's how squarely it did hit him. Here's Vinny Rotino. And a strike. And that was one of those times, if he didn't field that ball, it was a base hit. He was going to go up the middle. David Phelps starts to warm.
He's thrown nothing but strikes since then. I think that's the first ball he's thrown, so.
Well, Zeppeli, I keep making that same mistake with their sideburns. I should identify them. I'm sorry. I've gotten wrong twice in this series. The 2-1. Driven out to right field. Deep. Swisher on the run, on the track. At the wall, he makes the play. So the Mets go down 1-2-3. Andy Pettitte looks okay. Top of the Yankee order coming up. And now a business update from our friends at the Fox Business Network.
This is a Fox Business Network update.
I'm Cheryl Casoni from the Fox Business Network with the latest business and financial news. Wall Street ended the week on a positive note. The Dow had its best week since December. On Friday, the Dow finished up 93 points to 12,554. President Obama going on the offensive. He says the Republicans in Congress blew it when they wouldn't pass his jobs bill, and now the economy is suffering because of it. The president told Congress to take action to create more jobs. President Obama also speaking about Europe's debt woes, and now there's word that our Treasury Secretary is working to fix them. Fox Business's Charlie Gasparino getting exclusive details that Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner has been talking both with Wall Street bankers and European leaders about a TARP-like bailout plan for the Eurozone. Charlie says that Wall Street bankers have been urging Geithner to push for such a plan that would include a deposit insurance plan and capital injections to stabilize European banks. Charlie emphasizing the request for deposit insurance in Europe to give some stability to the banks and calm fears about a run on bank deposits. I'm Cheryl Casoni for a look at where the economy is heading. Check out the Fox Business Network, giving you the power to prosper every day, starting at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. To find the Fox Business Network in your area, log on to foxbusiness.com. That's it for now, and back to the game.
This one Mattingly. Oh, hang on to the roof. Goodbye, home run.
Swung on and line to left field. Down the line, it is gone. It's a walk-off by Mark Teixeira.
Fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Tuesday, June 26th, when the Yankees take on Cleveland. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees t-shirt, courtesy of Supercuts. The 2012 New York Yankees. Heroes remembered, legends born.
Well, as we go to the bottom of the sixth, let's take a look at Andy Pettitte's K by K, brought to you by Mazda.
Well, we're going to see Andy with that slider really working, and then the backdoor four-seamer to Jason Bay, but the rest are all going to be biting sliders in perfect locations. Andy's had the K-ball going this year. Coming into this start, he had 3 consecutive starts at home of 8 Ks or more. Make that 4 consecutive starts of 8 strikeouts or more at home.
Top of the order against Nice. Yankees have managed 3 singles against him. They trail 3-0. Jeter, Granderson, and Teixeira. Here's a stat that is a little bit of an eye-opener. Last time up, Derek grounded into a double play. He's grounded into 11 double plays so far this year. Today is June 10th. All of last year, he grounded into 10. Remember, he spent time on the DL with the calf injury, but 10 all year, 11 at this point.
And 10 of those in the last month.
Derek, the DH, and he is 1 for 12 in this series. Had a single last night. Slow roller. David Wright. Not in time. Infield single for Jeter.
Well, this is another thing Derek Jeter racks up his whole career. Infield hits. Perennially among the league leaders every year because he gets out of the box so well and runs straight through the bag.
Now let's take a look at the Super Shot brought to you by Fujifilm Long Zoom digital cameras.
The lean forward, textbook for little leaguers. Look at that lean like a sprinter through the finish line. That's how you do it.
Granderson takes a strike. So the Yankees' 4th hit, all singles. Granderson had a home run last night, has 18 on the year. Last year he had 41 home runs, but he's ahead of that pace. He had 17 home runs through 58 games last year. This year, 18. There's Clay Rapata. If any player was perfect for a venue, it's Curtis Granderson for this ballpark. He locks and loads and aims for the lower deck and right.
He plays every day, straps it on and goes. Got a couple innings off the other night. I think it's the only rest he's had all year.
Crowd looking for something to cheer about. Serves that one into left field, a base hit. He doesn't go that way all that often, and he picks up a hit.
No, he doesn't. And battling back from 0-2, hits a really good Jonathan Neese fastball down and away. The direction was good. Off the end of the bat, towards the end of the bat. So well placed. Sometimes you make good pitches and they still get hits. Now the Yankees in business here. 1st and 2nd, and nobody out, and the crowd's starting to come alive a little bit, Michael.
So now Mark Teixeira digs in. Fly to center and single to center. Jeter's on 2nd. Granderson is on 1st. Nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Only the 2nd runner the Yankees have had in scoring position. In the 2nd inning, Alex got there, and then Swisher bunted. Top out.
Batting left-handed off of Dylan G. A hanging breaking ball right there. Finds the short porch.
In the dirt, blocked by Nickias.
Excellent 0-2 pitch. Jumped up 0-2 on Teixeira. Backdoor cutter and a fastball up, and then the hook right on home plate. Then back inside with the fastball as Teixeira fights it off. See if he goes back to that curveball that's been so effective the last couple of innings.
Two and two.
Got ahead of Granderson 0-2, couldn't put him away. Jumps up on Teixeira, now back to 2-2. Teixeira fighting back in this count.
Grounded to Quintanilla. And they get the force at second. That's all they get.
Teixeira on top of that curveball. Tomahawks it. Quintanilla with an excellent play. Quick hands to get to Speedy Granderson.
Now Dan Warthen will come out and talk with Nice as Alex Rodriguez waits at home plate. Big spot for Alex. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Alex walked in the second, then hit a long fly ball to the right of dead center. He thought he got it. Instead, Andres Torres got it in front of the fence on the warning track. So big spot as he's up with the tying run. And the Yankees make Nice work. Well, you know what? That gets them into the Met bullpen, which is what every team wants to do. That's a weakness of their team. Their starters do a nice job. Their bullpen is shaky. Right now he's at 85 pitches. Strike on the inside corner. A-Rod tied with Eddie Murray all-time with 1,917 ribbies. Jimmy Fox is next. Let's see if they can turn two. There's one, and there's two. So Alex does not get it done and binds into a 4-4-3 double play. No runs, 2 hits, 1 man left. We go to the 7th because this play, the second baseman, positioned beautifully, was an inning-ending double play.
It's back again at Red Lobster, but not for long. Your very own 4-course seafood feast for just $14.99. Start your feast with a soup like our hearty New England clam chowder. Next, enjoy a salad with unlimited Cheddar Bay biscuits. Then get your choice of one of 7 entrees, like new coconut and pineapple shrimp, shrimp and scallops Alfredo, or new honey barbecue shrimp. Then finish with something sweet. Your complete 4-course seafood feast, just $14.99. Come into Red Lobster and see food differently.
Hey, Sparky, what's going on?
Yeah, what's your hiding? The secret plans for our soapbox derby racer. We've got to destroy him. How? We'll eat him. Yeah.
Or you could use your Swingline Stack and Shred shredder that you order from WBMasonAtHome.com. It'll shred 500 pages and you just drop it all in.
Sure beats eating all these secrets. You're a WB Mason. Now you can shop at home.
How fast is your internet? Chances are it depends. If you only have one device online, you get one speed. But if you have multiple devices and you're streaming video and gaming, you get a different speed. Verizon Fios is different. It's 100% fiber optic. That means it's faster and can handle everything you do online. Fios is America's fastest, most reliable internet, period. Do you have the speed you need? Take the speed test now at verizon.com/up-to-speed.
The wait is finally over. It's time for Hyundai to bring on the tent and get ready to bring on the attention with a sleek and stylish Sonata. The Sonata also brings 35 mpg highway to the lineup of America's most fuel-efficient car company. Plus, get Hyundai Assurance, including America's best warranty. And now you can bring on the Sonata for just 0% APR plus $500 bonus cash, or lease one for $199 a month. But hurry to your local dealer because eventually we have to bring down the tent.
Tomorrow, starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Get a Verizon Fios for the internet that can handle everything you do online, no matter how many devices you use. Ivan Nova, 7-2, 5.09. Randall Delgado, 4-5, 4.26. for the Braves. Our coverage will begin at 6:30 p.m. on the YES Network. Right now, the Yankees are worried about this one. They're down 3-0, and Andy Pettitte is now out of the game. They will go to Clay Rapata. Now, Andy was at 93 pitches, if I remember, so you wonder if he's taken out because of that comebacker which he grabbed with his bare hand. And there's a strike to Quintanilla. This is the first time since he's come out of retirement that Andy has not pitched into the 7th inning. Swing and a miss by Quintanilla. Cadillac scoreboard 3-0. Mets leading. One and two.
Probably just a one-hitter appearance for Rapata against the lefty Quintanilla.
And he does his job. He strikes out Quintanilla. Looks like Joe's going to stay with him with the light-hitting YANKEES coming up. Larry Rothschild talking to Mike Harkey in the bullpen. Count 1-0.
Valdespin on deck, so obviously 2 out of 3 here. Girardi going to ride Rapata out here in the 7th inning.
Strike. You take a chance with Rapata because he's not good against righties. With the sidewinding motion, you get a good look at him. And he historically has real bad numbers against righty batters. So you face the Yankees, you want to stack the lineup righty-lefty, so that Rapata has to pay for staying in there. Let's see if YANKEES can make him.
The good news is Rapata coming out throwing strikes. You know, the one knock on Rapata was his 12 walks in 15 innings. You see Valdespin on deck.
Granderson is there. They'll put it away for the second out. Here's Jordany Valdespin. Valdespin, the 2-run double in the second inning. A big blow right inside first base. Past Mark Teixeira. Then he struck out in the 4th against Pettitte. If we get any information on Andy Pettitte's hand, of course we'll pass it along, and if we don't before we get off the air, we'll have it on the post-game show. Meredith will work the clubhouse, and Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry back in the studios. As soon as we have the info, we'll pass it on. If there's anything wrong, count 1-1. He's still got 2 outs after he had the comebacker. Popped up. Good job by Rapata. Russell Martin will make the play, and that will do it. So Rapata works a 1-2-3 inning. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. The New York Mets lead the New York Yankees 3-0, but we will stay right here to honor America.
Will you please rise and offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
33,000 into the stands. Jeter makes history here today.
Leaders make history. During the Leadership Sales Drive, get a Ford Explorer with 28 miles per gallon for an amazing $289 a month. Best mileage, most value.
Get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Pull on those gardening gloves, and let's see how colorful an afternoon can be. With the Home Depot certified advice to help us expand our palette and prices that keep our budgets firmly rooted, we can mix the right soil with the right ideas and bring even more color to any garden. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Beat the bugs with Ortho Bug Begone Max Spray or Concentrate, just $7.97.
What's that great old saying about strangers? They're just friends you haven't met yet. Among life's millions of moments, some of the very best are made by Mohegan Sun. When it's your time to shine, come see us.
Leadership isn't given, it's earned. During the Leadership Sales Drive, get a Ford Escape with up to 28 miles per gallon for an incredible $159 a month. Just $159. Most MPG, best value.
Get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Hi, everybody. Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry with your Tri-State Ford update. Jack, the Yankees offense came into this feeling pretty good about themselves, but John Neese is changing that.
Yeah, he's frustrated them, Bob. They've had the leadoff man on against him in 4 of 6 innings, but they haven't been able to produce. 2 for 11 with runners on base, 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Jeter and A-Rod have hit into double plays, and Swisher with an ill-timed bunt attempt.
All right, so we'll talk more Neese on the postgame. Also, Meredith Marakovitz will have the very latest on Andy Pettitte and how his left hand is feeling, guys.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you, Jack. By the way, that might be Jack's best tie of the year. Time for the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 3-5-0 Mets, 0-5-1 Yankees. Pettitte went 6 innings, and he's out of the game. Neese has gone 6 innings. He's still in the game. Valdespin with that big 2-run double in the second inning. All the scoring in the second, otherwise zeros on that board, and Neese is making it hold up. We'll hear more from Jack and Bob and Meredith on the postgame. Robinson Cano will lead off, 1 for 2. Foul back. Cadillac scoreboard, 3-0 Mets.
Neese in good shape here, too, in the 7th. Only 88 pitches. Just what the Mets needed. You know, they've been carried by their starting rotation all year long, and trying to avoid a sweep here today needed this kind of effort.
Another base hit for Cano. They had him play wide of third, and David Wright made a valiant try, but a base hit for Cano. Another update from Bob Lorenz in the studio. Bob?
Michael, let's check on the Nats and Red Sox. Game tied at 1 bottom of the 4th, but not for long. David Ortiz ends a 7-game RBI drought, his 14th homer. Speaking of a drought, John Lester winless his last 4, has allowed just 3 hits and a run over 5. 2-1 Boston.
Thanks a lot, Bob. It's amazing what David Ortiz has done. What was it, last year? They thought he was done at the beginning of the year, and he's just turned it on. He had a great season last year and a really good start this season. Here's Nick Swisher.
Yeah, they've been calling for his demise almost for the last 3 years.
Grounded foul.
A real resurgence in production.
And he was a free agent at the end of last year, and they only wanted to give him a 1-year deal, so he accepted arbitration. See the Met bullpen, Miguel Batista, and the only lefty in their bullpen, Tim Burdack. Grounded to right. He bobbles, fires a second one to first. A double play. Yankees cannot get anything going against Neese.
Well, good news, bad news. Good news, you hit it hard. Bad news, right at David Wright. Around the horn. Easily. Right on the button, but on the ground. Plenty of time.
So 2 down, and that'll bring up Andrew Jones. Yankees have flirted with doing something against Nice. They've had the leadoff man on in 5 of the 7 innings. Haven't been able to bring him around. And David, in the scouting report, gave you the stat. You got to get this guy early, and they had an opportunity in the second inning, first and second, nobody out, down 3, and Nick Swisher bunted. And it didn't work out. If it works out, maybe we wouldn't be talking about it. But the way it's progressed since that point, there's that stat we were talking about. I can't wait to hear why Nick bunted in the postgame. Nice play by Wright, does the 360 and fires, and Rotino cannot come up with the scoop. That'll be an E5 on David.
See, ranging, got to wheel around, got time, lets it go, looking for a little help, not going to get it.
Now that's some of what you lose when you don't start Ike Davis against a lefty, because Ike Davis is a pretty good first baseman. And Rotino cannot come up with a backhanded scoop.
See Rotino's reaction. He wanted to help out right there, but yeah, it's pretty normal for a third baseman with plenty of time to sort of spin around and get your feet under you. Try to get your shoulders lined up. It looked like David just pulled that ball a little bit when he tried to unleash it.
Here's Russell Martin. He has struck out twice against Nice. And there's a strike.
I can tell you one thing, back in the day, that was a play that Keith Hernandez ate up. One of the best pickers of the game. The great first baseman for the Mets. He was in the booth next to us.
There's Keith and Ronnie.
He puts that one in his hip pocket, no problem.
Let's give Gary some love. And there's Gary Cohen, too. Mets broadcast group. That one is drilled to right field. Backing up, Hairston reaches up. Gone, see ya. A home run, a 2-run shot the other way. Yankees on the board. It's now 3-2 Mets, and the error by Wright looms large. David, how did that get out?
My goodness. Jeffrey Mayer might have snuck back into the ballpark. Up, up.
And that's how it got out.
And a ricochet straight up. Is it going to be back in?
And the fan never leaned over, it just plopped into his hand. So a big 2-run home run by Russell Martin as they make the Mets pay for the right throwing error. And here is Nix. Grounded to short. Quintanilla. But the Yankees are back in this game. Off the top of the wall. And a fan makes the catch. A 2-run shot. Hairston, a valiant try. But Russell Martin with the 2-run bomb. 3-2 Mets lead.
Can you put a price on fuel efficiency? Extra space? Can you put a price on safety? Nissan did. And it's less than Toyota RAV4 and Honda CR-V. Now get a 209 lease on the fuel-efficient Nissan Rogue. Visit ChooseNissan.com. Test drive at your Tri-State Nissan dealer. Hurry in. This offer won't last.
My house is nice and quiet. That's a Sloman's Shield doing its job. I've got perimeter protection, interior protection, and now I can see what's going on. Not in front of a computer? No problem. I can view the camera from any web-enabled device. The best part is it's free. You just pay for the central station monitoring, which you would need anyway in order to alert the authorities. All you have to remember is 1-800-ALARM-ME. Shield your home, see your home. The Sloman's Shield.
You know that a drug overdose can look like this. But did you know many overdoses start out looking like this? Even though they're prescribed by a doctor, prescription painkillers can be dangerous and can lead to serious addiction or death. So take prescription painkillers only as directed. Never share them, and dispose of unused pills right away. To learn more or for help, call 311 or 1-800-LifeNet or go to nyc.gov.
Dish Network can claim what they want, but America consistently chooses DirecTV. For the best television experience, DirecTV beats Dish hands down. But don't just take our word for it. Over the last 3 years, for every customer Dish gained, DirecTV gained 8 times more. In fact, more people chose DirecTV last year than all cable and satellite companies combined. Sorry, Dish, 30 million customers can't be wrong. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
All of that adds up to Mets 3 and the Yankees 2. We have to take a look again at the Russell Martin home run because upon further evaluation, David.
Well, you see the angle. The ball bounces straight up. So right now, it's still in play. I think this ball's got a chance to come right back down in play, as there's the reach over by the fan. Now, that's not a definitive angle, but that's really close. That ball might have ended up bouncing straight up in the air and coming back down in play.
Little surprised that Terry Collins didn't come out and ask the umpires to take a look at that on replay. That's a replayable play. Don't know if the guy leaned over. If he did, he didn't lean over drastically, that's for sure. Maybe it comes straight back down, hits the top of the wall again. But that one is in the books right now. You can't review it now. Neuenhuis will pinch hit against Corey Wade, the Yankees' new pitcher. And there's a strike as Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. Boy, David, does that change the complexion of the game or what?
Completely. You see Corey Wade on the season, the workhorse. 26 games already. Only 4 walks.
David Wright probably beating himself up over the throwing error. But David said something interesting on Friday. You know, we always say unearned runs, it's the fault of the guy who made the error, but there's some responsibility to the pitcher to pick up his guy. You know, if you gave up a hit after that, you still gave up the hit.
That's right. And one of the stats I look for, especially with starting pitchers, is exactly that. The differential between earned runs and unearned runs, because they tell a story. They tell the story of whether the pitcher falls apart after an infielder or an outfielder makes an error behind him. It tells a little story about the character of the pitcher.
Hyundai scoreboard 3-2. Mets lead here in the 8th inning. Neuenhuis fouls it back.
One of the old-time pitching coaches that I had for several years, a guy named Bill Fisher, who actually was the pitcher who gave up the mammoth home run to Mickey Mantle that hit the roof. That was one of his big stats he looked at.
The 0-2.
See a pitcher with a losing record and a lot of unearned runs. Well, yeah, part of it's bad luck. Part of it is your own making as well.
Boone Logan heating up. High fly ball, right field. Off the end of the bat, Swisher will make the play for the first out. Verizon customers, you won't have to miss a game again now that you can watch live Yes Network Yankees games on your PCs or laptops with Verizon Fios. Get a full season of live Yankees games on the go for just $49.99. And if you're a Verizon Fios TV customer with Fios Internet, go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now. Jason Bay takes a strike from Wade. Pettit started, went 6. Rapata came on, a 1-2-3 7th. Now Corey Wade here in the 8th. Grounded to Alex Rodriguez. And he gets Bay for the second out.
Third baseman, David Wright.
Two-way here in the 8th inning. That'll bring up David Wright. And the pitch to Wright. There's a strike. There's another look, another angle on this home run. Let's see if this is conclusive, David.
Right on the edge and straight up. Well, you know, the thing about this is it hit on top of the wall. It hit right on the edge, the angle of the wall, which creates the bounce going straight up, maybe even in a little bit. But it wasn't a top of the wall and over type of home run.
You know, with all the replays that we're looking at right now, the call on the field is that it was a home run. So if they saw all the reviews that you're looking at right now, all the replays, I don't know if they could have overturned it, David, because I don't know if there's conclusive evidence that the ball would have gone back on the field.
Yeah, that would have been difficult to overturn, but if anything, based on that last shot, with the ball going straight up, it wouldn't have gone in the stands. It would have come right back down on top of the wall again, and then another ricochet.
3-2.
But a great swing by Russell Martin, nonetheless. I mean, you're lost in the fact. Another good at-bat by Russell Martin, and a bullet to right field.
Everybody's telling him he's on TV.
He looked like he reached over a bit to me, but like we said, none of the replays were conclusive.
And let's say if it did come back down on the top of the wall, who knows what it does on the second bounce? Does it bounce into the seats or back onto the field? Because I don't think it comes strictly back on the field. That's a tough call, and an umpire has to go a long way, and there's no way he can get to that spot and see it with the naked eye. He's got to make a judgment call. Three-two to right, and he works a walk. One thing we also have to say about those two fans, they did not reach in and interfere with the play. They could have done that, leaned over the wall, made it tough for Hairston. They just leaned back, and then when the ball ricocheted up, that's when he grabbed the ball. I don't think he had any ill intent. It's almost the anti-Jeffrey Mayer, who reached over to make the catch. Those guys backed away, and then they made the catch. Now we talk about an umpire being out there. Richie Garcia was out there in the Jeffrey Mayer play right next to Tony Tarasco, and you don't always get it right. Pitch to Hairston is inside.
Yeah, you obviously had the extra umpire in postseason down the lines, so Richie Garcia was, as Michael said, right next to the play.
Russell Martin, he gets a two-run home run, and it stands. 3-2 Mets lead, top of the 8th. Runner at first, 2 outs. Wright walks with 2 outs. Line foul.
Hairston with a good day offensively. Talked about his numbers batting against left-handed pitching. Average up to 291. Very aggressive hitter, though. Only 8 walks on the year. See David Wright peeking in for the signs right there. He's watching the catcher, trying to read the signs and pick an off-speed pitch to run on.
Like that.
A lot of the great base stealers in the history of the game have been so adept at that, being able to peek at those signs. That's why it's so important for the catcher to try to block it with his shin guard. See Martin trying to turn in his shin guard, right, still peeking. The great Willie Wilson, one of the fastest runners in the history of the game. The Kansas City Royals center fielder was one of the best in the game at this right here. Peek, peek, looking.
Going. And he goes. Strike 3. End of the inning. So that'll do it here in the 8th. No runs. And one man left. Top of the order for the Yankees.
This summer, win a legendary voyage to Heineken destinations around the world. Head to your local participating retailer for details.
All your life, you've been trading up. You exchanged the third-floor walk-up for the house you had your heart set on. So now that you're comfortably situated in life, let's talk about your car.
For a limited time, during the Lincoln Exchange sales event, trade up to a Lincoln MKZ, ranked the most dependable car in its class 3 years running by J.D. Power Associates. Now lease a 2012 Lincoln MKZ for $319 a month, including a $1,000 exchange bonus. Only at your Lincoln dealer.
Headed to Chili's with my friends. With my friends Randy and Phil.
Nothing brings friends together like Chili's Triple Dipper for dinner.
The Chevy Cruze has remote access. It can check my oil, life, and tire pressure all through my smartphone.
I wouldn't have thought of you as the techie gadget guy, Tim.
Why? Because I'm old?
Well, boss, you do call it my face.
Transferred your contacts from your old address book to your new rotary-style address book.
Ooh, rotary style.
Now, very well-qualified lessees of a 1999 or newer non-GM vehicle can get a 2012 Chevy Cruze LS for around $139 per month. EPA estimated 36 miles per gallon highway.
Buy right with WB Mason and improve office productivity with Swingline Stack and Shred Shredder featuring hands-free shredding of 100, 250, or 500 sheets at a time. Delivered by who but WB Mason.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by 5-Hour Energy. 5-Hour Energy fixes tired fast. By J&R Music and Computer World, and by Acura. Acura Advance. Well, the Mets now have to reach into their bullpen. And Bobby Parnell is the guy they call on, and the Met bullpen has been a weakness, and we mentioned that earlier. They have had 12 blown saves. They have an ERA of 5.46 as a bullpen. Bobby Parnell has been one of the better Met pitchers out of the pen. 3.04 ERA. We know he throws hard. He can reach 100 miles an hour. Hyundai scoreboard, Mets lead 3-2. Top of the Yankee order, Derek Jeter will lead it off. Chopped slowly to short. Charging is Quintanilla. It's under his glove, and it rolls into center field. Jeter's going for 2. He slides, he's in there. Just like that.
Well, Jeter had an infield single his last time up, and once again, he smells it. Right out of the box, down the line. I don't know if he saw that go through himself or if he got help from Mick Kelleher, the first base coach, but never hesitating and easily a hustle double. He peeks it, sees it himself.
That's going to be scored a single and an E6, allowing him to go to second base. So they don't think that he would have gotten him at first base. Jeter runs so well at first, and then Jeter hustled it into 2.
And that is the right score, because Quintanilla knows he's got to make the transition quickly, and whiffs.
All right, so Curtis Granderson just had a talk with Rob Thompson. Do you let Granderson try to pull the ball, which is what he does, or do you have him bunt here to move Jeter over to third? I think you let him pull the ball, David. And that's what they'll do. 96-mile-an-hour fastball inside.
It's very difficult to ask Granderson to bunt right here. Got a better chance of hitting it out of the ballpark than bunting Jeter to third.
Kirk Neuenhuis in center, Ike Davis at first as Terry Collins tightens his defense up. On ball, foul. Past Davis.
And Curtis Granderson just a little out in front of that curveball. Shows you how good a fastball Granderson is. Fastball hitter he is, because Parnell, the flamethrower, goes to the curveball, which is a much easier ball to pull. But Granderson notoriously great against power pitchers. Good dead red hitter.
The 1-1. That's dead red right there, 98 miles an hour, 2-1. Yankees trying to come back from a 3-0 deficit, and Yankees trying to sweep this series against the Mets. Jeter's at second, nobody out, bottom of the 8th. Line drive, left field, it's a base hit. Jeter held up, and they're going to hold him up as Bay comes in with the throw to David Wright. Second time today that Granderson has gone to left field, and the Yankees are set up. First and third, nobody out.
Well, indeed it is. You'll see Jeter just with a slight hesitation there on the line drive to left, and a great call by Rob Thompson. Right now, get it to him early. Get it to him early. That's what runners want. Rob Thompson getting in position. Jeter the hesitation. Now let him know now. Nobody out. We'll take our chances. First and third, nobody out.
All right, here's Mark Teixeira. The Mets will take the double play, and they'll give up the run to tie the game, but the Yankees looking bigger picture than that. Teixeira's 1 for 3 today. He singled up the middle in the 4th inning. Granderson a threat to go. He leads off first, not running as much as he used to. .98 outside, 1-0.
Again, good matchups for the Yankees. As you see, the pen for the Mets is up and running. Double barrel. Teixeira and Granderson right here. Great fastball hitters. Parnell with some cheese.
The 1-0. Moved by him, 1-1. Power against power right here. And Soriano is up in the Yankee bullpen. He closed yesterday's game.
No shift for Teixeira.
Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. The Yankees have tied the score. Granderson is going to third. The throw comes into second. It's an RBI single for Teixeira. It's a 3-3 game.
Mets playing for the double play, pretty much straight up. The shortstop cheating a little bit to the bag. That leaves this hole open just enough. And Granderson, great base running, never hesitating. Been a while since Teixeira's hit a ground ball in this location and seen it go through.
So Mark Teixeira now has 16 ribbies over his last 16 games. The Mets bring the infield in for Alex Rodriguez. The go-ahead run is at third here in the bottom of the 8th. First and third, nobody out. Skied the other way and foul. And the 0-1. 1-1. We take a look at Jeter scoring here. It looks like he holding his giddy up there. We'll see if he comes out to play shortstop in the ninth. Doesn't seem overly stressed. Yankees have double the hits of the Mets and only now starting to cash in some of those hits. So it's 3-10 and 1 Yanks and 3-5 and 2 for the Mets. Big spot for A-Rod after he banged into a double play in the 6th inning. Just missed outside with the breaking ball. In this inning, the Met problems are somewhat crystallized. They're not a good defensive team, and their bullpen has been porous all year, and we've seen it right here in the 8th. Now look at the Met bullpen numbers. Another blown save with this one.
Jonathan Neese, the lefty starter for the Mets, almost all but forgotten. A great effort today.
If you think about it, the error by Wright allowed Russell Martin to hit that home run. Then the error by Quintanilla kind of made this a big inning when Jeter hustled it to second base. And Jonathan Neese is the one who gets nothing out of a pretty good performance. The 2-2. Lofted to somewhat shallow right field. Is anybody going to get it? No, it finds grass. It's a base hit. Scoring is Granderson, and the Yankees lead 4-3 on the bloop single by Alex Rodriguez. Terry Collins is going to go to his bullpen and probably hold his breath.
This is why batters bat a lot higher in terms of average with the infield playing in, because even on a blooper, not enough time to get there. Normally, this is an easy pop-up for the second baseman, but with the infield all the way in, you're going to catch a break.
And Alex said, I'll take it, that's for sure. I've hit some hard ones that were caught. Yankees lead 4-3.
I have evidence that proves my dad's a space alien. Speaks a weird language. Drinks green stuff. He says he's from Albuquerque. I'm not buying it. I mean, just look at him. And one more thing, he has a spaceship. The evidence doesn't lie. My dad's an alien.
those home runs to come early in the game, as they did for Hiroki Kuroda. And Rabbits Cano provides it for you. And when he hits it right off the bat, he knows it. Drop and watch. That must feel nice. I never hit him like that, Michael. But then Swisher follows it up. Johan He knows it. Drop and watch. That must feel nice. I never hit him like that, Michael. But then Swisher follows it up. Johan Santana off the no-hitter had some trouble. That glove from the spin effect off the end of the bat.
If you look ahead to the 9th inning, who Soriano's going to have to face, it'll be Duda, Rotino, and no, not Rotino anymore. Duda, Ike Davis, and Omar Quintanilla. That's coming up in the 9th as the Yankees will try.
Swisher came into this game just hitting .216, batting right-handed.
Popped up. David right near the stands. And it's going to make the seats. Coming up later, catch the WB Mason postgame as Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry recap the big plays from today's series finale and get the latest scores from around baseball. Plus, Meredith Marakovitz is in the clubhouse for the team's reaction. We'll hear from Joe Girardi. It's all later on the WB Mason postgame only on Yes. First and second for the Yankees now with one out. A-Rod's at second, Cano's at first, Swisher at the plate. The attendance, 49,010. So all 3 games this weekend against the Mets sold out, and now 4 sellouts for the Yankees this year. Opening day, and then these 3. Count 2-1. Yankees head to Atlanta after the game. The Mets head to Tampa Bay. High fly ball, right field. Hairston settles underneath to make the play for the second out. And Terry Collins is going to call on a righty, and this is a gamble for Collins, because you call on a righty now, you're going to have Ibanez come up against that righty aiming for the shorter porch. And he's going to gamble. He'd rather have the righty against Ibanez than Burdack against Andrew Jones. The righty is John Roush. Does Joe Girardi counter? We'll see.
There are over 358 million trillion gallons of water on Earth. But not all water is created equal. Only 1/1000% is filtered naturally beneath the Earth, with a distinct balance of minerals, and emerges crisp and refreshing enough to be called Poland Spring. Poland Spring 100% natural spring water, born better.
J&R, New York's largest and top-rated technology superstore for cameras, computers, audio products, movies, music, housewares, TVs, video games, and more. Visit J&R, giving you the real deal in electronics since 1971.
These days, your style is whatever suits you. Right now, it's buy one, get one free on most everything in the store. Jeans, jackets, shirts, ties. Because if it suits you, it suits us. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
My name is Cheryl Carroll. My wonderful husband passed away about 1.5 years ago of mesothelioma. My heart broke. He wanted to live, and he was trying to do everything possible just to prolong his life, like for us.
I was only 12 at the time. It was really hard.
Financially, I don't know what we would have done if it wasn't for Whites and Luxembourg. Whites and Luxembourg, they're absolutely with you every step of the way.
Interleague play heats up in Hotlanta when the Bombers kick off a 3-game set with the Braves. Tomorrow, second baseman Robinson Cano and Dan Uggla are on the All-Star track. Now, can their big bats lead their teams to the top? Complete coverage starts tomorrow at 6:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame, only on Yes.
Later today, catch a new WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show as the skipper looks ahead to this week's interleague matchups against the Braves and the Nationals. Then on Yankees on Deck, presented by Blimpie, Eric Chavez offers some helpful hints for Little Leaguers. It's all later after the postgame only on Yes. But as we mentioned, that is later. We're still in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Yankees with 2 runs in the 8th have taken the lead over the Mets, and the Mets go to the 3rd pitcher of the inning. John Roush will come on. 30 base runners in 23 and 2/3 innings, just 13 strikeouts, a 4.56 ERA, and Joe Girardi does counter and sends up Ibanez, the pinch hit for Andrew Jones. Jones was 0 for 3 while he was in there. But Jones did reach on the E5 by David Wright, and that allowed Russell Martin to hit the home run. A-Rod's at second, and Cano is at first. 1-1.
The Yankees originally envisioned Ibanez when they signed him in the offseason as sort of the platoon at the DH. Now he's the platoon in left field, along with Andrew Jones. An interesting note, the Elias Bureau today. We talk about interleague play, Michael, and Ibanez was supposed to be the DH. And 30 interleague games played in American ballparks. AL DHs are batting .303 with 7 homers compared to .227 versus the National League counterpart.
Now, I used to always think that the American League was at a disadvantage because pitchers just don't hit when they play in the National League. But I actually think the National League's at more of a disadvantage because the way their rosters are built, David, they don't have that big slugger as a DH on the bench.
It's been harder for the National League clubs to find a DH than it has been for the American League clubs to sit the DH in the National League parks.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. So Roush strikes out the pinch hitter Ibanez. The anatomy of a rally for the Yankees. Derek Jeter turns that into 2 bases. Then Curtis Granderson with a single to left field. Mark Teixeira with an RBI single ties it, and a bloop single gives the Yankees the lead.
Do you work for Toyota?
Yes.
Is it true the 2012 Camry has a lot of new features but costs less than last year?
Yes.
How is that even possible? I mean, is this thing even working? Do you find yourself uncontrollably attracted to me?
No.
No, it's working.
Lease the 35 MPG rated Toyota Camry for just $199 a month and get a lot for less. Toyota.
You still think you colder than me? No, don't tell me. Tell Tiny. And who you supposed to be? Backup? Handle it.
What you looking at?
Cat-like reflexes. Oh.
The Coors Light Silver Bullet Pint. It's bigger, it's resealable, it's still the coldest.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Hello. Sunshine through today with seasonal temperature.
The boards are going this way. There's no way. Oh, the lights came on.
Isn't technology supposed to make life easier? At Chase, we're pioneering innovations that make banking simple. Deposit a check with a photo, pay someone with an email, and bank seamlessly with our award-winning mobile app. Take a step forward and chase what matters.
Aggressive styling, a more fuel-efficient turbocharged engine, and a completely redesigned interior. The 2012 C-Class with over 2,000 refinements. It's amazing, inside and out. The C-Class 4MATIC starts at just $38,020.
You know, you can vote along with us for today's Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 42951 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Russell Martin, number 2, Jonathan Neese, number 3, Mark Teixeira, number 4, Alex Rodriguez. You can vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Well, the Yankees will go to their closer, Rafael Soriano. First, they bring in Dwayne Wise. for Ibanez, who would pinch hit for Jones. So Wise is in left field. And Soriano is on the mound. Soriano, 9 for 9 in save opportunities. And Joe Girardi, and you'll hear this on the Joe Girardi show later on, said that when Robertson comes back, Robertson's pitching the 8th inning, and Soriano will stay the closer, and that makes sense. Here's Lucas Duda. One and 0.
Things have a way of working themselves out sometimes with regard to bullpens, or pitching overall for that matter.
There's a strike. Mariano Rivera will have his surgery in 2 days. Have his knee repaired on June 12th. After they got rid of the blood clot and the swelling went down. And usually that surgery takes about a year. So you'd be looking at Soriano closing for the first 2.5 months next year as well. And the Yankees paid him his insurance for Mariano, and right now they are cashing in on that policy. The 2-1. Driven into center field. It's over the head of Granderson and goes to the wall. Duda is at second with a leadoff double. Outfielders hate the ball hit right at them, and that's exactly what it was, and Granderson froze for just a moment.
You see Duda's 6'4", 260, and he's got some thunder. And that ball is on the button, and Granderson kind of freezes, and that's a straight line drive right over his head. See the little freeze by Granderson right away? And that ball is smoked. Lucas Duda's got that kind of pop, too.
All right, here's Ike Davis hitting 162. Had a base hit yesterday, also worked a walk. Did not start today against the lefty Pettit. (4-3) Yankees lead the tying run at second base for the Mets. 1-0. Count 1-1.
It's a huge spot for Ike Davis. Struggling this year, and you see that has been the problem all year, just chasing that pitch out of the zone. His chase rates are way up this year. He's getting good balls to hit, really the key for him to turn his season around. And a big spot right here.
And he cashes in that big spot. He wraps one into right center field. It is a base hit. That's going to tie the game. As Duda scores, Ike Davis with an RBI double, and we're knotted at 4. That is Ike Davis's first hit in the 9th inning all year. He was 0 for 8 previously.
After the slider in the dirt, the fastball right down the middle. That had to feel good for Ike Davis.
Here's Quintanilla, and he's showing bunt, takes outside. So that's the first blown save for Soriano. 9 for 10 now, as A-Rod will go over and talk with the reliever. Now what A-Rod wants is for Soriano to field the bunt toward third so he can actually back up. Ike Davis does not have great speed at second base.
So Girardi's going to come out. Now's the time that you could definitely get a little tricky with your bunt defense. Maybe a wheel play where A-Rod could crash and Nix, the shortstop, breaks towards third to try to cut down the runner. It's a little more difficult without the force play at third. Usually the wheel play works better with first and second. You've got force plays all around. But I guarantee you that's what they're talking about right now is bunt defense.
And one thing that we've seen in this series, Quintanilla can handle the bat. So if he sees the infielders moving, you wouldn't be surprised if they turn him loose and let him slap the ball.
And that's the counter, exactly. This is a straight up defensive play where rather than the shortstop breaking, you pinch with the pitcher and the two ends. First baseman, third baseman crash. And you go ahead and concede the runner getting to third. The way you cut him down is you do the wheel play and the shortstop breaks to third.
That's what they're doing this time, and he did swing away. And they're going to go to third. Do they get the out? Yes, they do. Nice play by Jason Nix. It was a gamble, but they get Ike Davis. Boy, what a gamble by Nix.
It was a gamble. They do put the wheel play on where the shortstop's going to break this way, but Nix reads it and stops and is able to backtrack, and not only backtrack and field it, but take a chance. Cutting down Ike Davis at third.
Let's see if they made the play right. Yep, good call by the third base umpire, Tim Cheetah. Got him on the back before the hand hit. Daniel Murphy will pinch hit for Mike Nickius. Boy, what a gutty play by Jason Nix. As David said, he was heads up enough to stop and see that it wasn't a bunt. That's why he was able to field the ball. And then to have the guts to throw to third base. You were looking at first and third, nobody out. But with the game tied, you might want to look ahead. It's going to be Martin, Nix, and Jeter in the bottom of the ninth. Here's another look at that play.
This is the wheel play. Shortstop's breaking, reading. Stops, retracts, and you got to make the decision now. He didn't even have time to look at the runner. You just almost instinctively take that chance and wheel and throw to third.
And Ike Davis is not blessed with speed, and that help matters as well.
A quick read by Nix, too, to read the bat and see that it was going to be sort of the old butcher boy play as opposed to the bunt, where the hitter will square around and fake bunt and then pull the bat back. Nix with a great read.
By Joe Girardi going to the mound, sometimes you let the other team outthink themselves. Rather than just lay down on the bunt, they started to think. Because Collins probably figuring, well, they're going to put the wheel play on now since the manager came out and spoke about it, and he turned Quintanilla loose.
And Quintanilla did the right thing, hit the ball on the ground where the vacated hole would have been.
And another consideration is that Nix didn't have to sell out completely and just put his head down and run to third because Davis isn't that fast. So he was able to run with management and stop when he saw that Quintanilla was putting the ball in play. So now 3-1 on Murphy. Pinch hitting for Nickius. Now 3-2. Now do they send Quintanilla at first base with one out and a 3-2 count? The wheels are turning here in the ninth inning. Yankees and the Mets, 4-4 game. Final game of a 3-game set. They do send the runner, and it's a base hit to right field. Quintanilla will stop at third. A pinch hit single for Murphy, and the Mets have runners on the corners with just one out. And that's going to do it for Soriano. So with Valdespin due up, they're going to go with Boone Logan. And the Mets then will counter with Josh Tolley pinch hitting for Valdespin. Soriano is not pleased. Usually don't see a closer lifted while the game is still tied. So Soriano gets booed as he walks off the mound, and the Yankees go to the bullpen.
Spring is the season of savings at My Bob's. The values keep growing and growing.
Bonded leather sectional in red or black. 3 tables and 2 lamps.
All together only $9.99.
Rather have a sofa and love seat? No worries.
Still only $9.99.
In red or black. Don't need tables and lamps? No worries.
Sofa and love seat or sectional, only $7.99 each. So spring into action during the season of savings at My Bob's.
Seen the signs on the passers-by, something's got to give. Can't be free, but it's good for me. But this good thing comes along, and I can't deny too long. I need you to save me. I need you to set me free.
Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
When it comes to sports sedans, the Audi A6 is faster.
Depreciating. The 270 horsepower 2012 Cadillac CTS, the winner of an Edmunds.com Best Retained Value Award.
Now lease a 2012 CTS sports sedan for $319 a month. Visit CadillacTristate.com for this attractive offer.
Rotation questions, lineup changes, injury updates. Joe knows.
Absolutely.
And you will too when you watch WB Mason presents The Joe Girardi Show. It's a review. It's a preview. It's your complete view of the only team that matters. New every Sunday, only on Yes.
Hey fans, get another chance to catch this game and every Yes Network game another time around. If you missed any of the big hits and great plays, just watch the encore later every night or again the next morning at 9. And it's brought to you by our good friends at Verizon Fios. So Joe Girardi takes out Soriano, brings in Logan, and Collins takes out Valdespin and sends up Josh Tolley. Those are the numbers on Logan. You might say, well, why are they bringing in Tolley, who's a left-hander anyway? Well, you just pinch hit for Nikia, so you've got to bring in Tolley, and you figure Tolley's a better hitter than Valdespin. It comes down to that.
Big spot for Boone Logan, as you saw those 29 strikeouts. Very capable of missing bats.
Breaking ball, no bite upstairs, 1-0. Mets scored 3 in the second inning against Pettit. Then the Yankees answered back with 2 in the 7th and 2 in the 8th to take a 4-3 lead. Mets have come back with 1 in the top of the 9th to tie the game. 4-4, 1 man out, runners on the corners. Good fastball, but low, 2-0. We've got Neuenhuis on deck.
Still got to make a good pitch here. Boone Logan does. Still has to be in a good spot, as you do have a base open.
Into the seats on the left side, 2-1.
4-4 game here in the 9th inning. Sometimes first base doesn't have to be open. Second base can be open, and you've got room to put a base runner, especially with another lefty on deck. But a good pitch there by Logan. He got a strike. He got it down in a good location and beat Tolley with that fastball. Let's see if he goes to the slider here, 2-1.
Now 2-2, 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Another fastball and another good swing by Tolley, trying to go down and away, and that was a good swing. Tolley timing it. He knows it. You see his reaction. Good fastball, good swing.
Does that swing scare you off the fastball again if you're Logan?
I would throw a slider here, definitely. I would go for the strikeout or the ground ball right now. Logan, very capable of striking somebody out with that fastball, but you see the 3 for the slider.
Foul back. Nail-biting time on both sides of the aisle. Yankees and Met fans inching up on the edge of the couch, I'm sure, as this game is tied at 4. Mets trying to avoid a sweep. Yankees trying to sweep.
Logan got away with that one. A hanger and another good swing by Tolley. The fate of a reliever, you got to be on right now.
Got him. Strike 3. Tolley down looking. And he barks at Muchlinski.
It's the slider. Tolley thinks it's down. Certainly right down the middle. A good pitch to hit, actually.
I don't know if he has much of an argument there.
Borderline, but right down the middle. Boy, it's hard to take that pitch in that situation.
Here's Neuenhuis with the use of Tolley. Collins doesn't have anybody else on his bench. Pitch outside. Mets carry 7 relievers and 4 extra players. All 4 have been used by Collins as he tries to pull this game out. First and third, 2 outs. 2-0.
Russell Martin right away smothers it. Not taking any chances. Watch how quick he gets into the block mode. And not the easiest one either off the front of home plate.
Buzzed him with the fastball upstairs. 3-0. Jason Bay is on deck for the Mets. Captain can't watch. Oh. 94-mile-an-hour fastball strike. Neuenhuis, a rookie who's done a nice job. 287, 3 homers, and 20 runs batted in. Grounded right side. Grabbed there by Cano. And he flips to Teixeira, and Logan comes in and gets out of a jam. But the Mets tie the score 1 run on 3 hits with 2 left. Russell Martin tied the game. Check a 2-run home run in the 7th. He's going to bat leading off the bottom of the 9th.
Starry nights, city lights, comfort galore at an uptown price.
Not at My Bob.
Why pay $2,500 or more elsewhere?
My Bob's is different, and here's why. Mine is only $9.99.
On my journey across America, I found new ways to tell people about saving money. This is Bobby. Say hello, Bobby. Hello, Bobby. Do you know you could save hundreds on car insurance over the phone, online, or at your local Geico office? Tell us, Bobby, what would you do with all those savings?
Hire a bit of ventriloquist. Your lips are moving.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Once upon a time, a fun-loving casino owner had an idea. Oh, June's coming up. This calls for a promotion. Just then, his computer crashed. Oh, darn computer bug. Wait a minute. June? Bug. That's it. I'll throw a June bug promotion. And out of the blue, 4 brand new Volkswagen Beetles fell through the roof.
A June bug promotion, you say?
Empire City Casino's June bug promotion. We're giving away a brand new Volkswagen Beetle every Monday in June. The more you play, the bigger your chances of winning.
Yeah.
Today on a new episode of Yankees on Deck presented by Blimpie, Eric Chavez gives local little leaguers some helpful hints.
Wherever that ball is going to be, you want to find it with your nose.
Plus, Phil Hughes shows you the art of keeping a runner on base.
Holding the runners are an important part of the game.
An all-new episode premieres today after the Joe Girardi Show, only on Yes.
Excellent quality, superb choice, and lower prices than anywhere else around. Can such a remarkable place really exist?
Surprise! Quality, choice, and value. That's my Bob's way.
Nieuwenhuis with his bid for a go-ahead RBI, foiled by Robinson Cano. Nice play there to the glove side. And he gets the out, and the Yankees go to the bottom of the 9th inning tied. Nieuwenhuis very aggravated. Boone Logan's not. Terry Collins thought for a moment and dropped his head, and he knows he has to protect the lead and hope for extra innings. Protect a tie and hope for extra innings. There's Daniel Murphy at second, and totally behind the plate.
That's why they keep Rolaids in the dugout for the managers. The ups and downs. Had a 3-0 lead. Now you're in a battle.
Russell Martin started this. Yankees seemed somewhat out of it. Down 3-0. Didn't have great at bats. Couldn't get big hits, but an error by Wright allowed a base runner, and then Martin connected for a home run just off the top of the wall on the W.B. Mason sign out in right field. Bounced straight up in the air, came down in the hands of a fan. 2-run home run, and all of a sudden the Yankees run it. The gentleman in the blue Nike shirt is the one who caught it.
He's been on the horn ever since.
Well, Martin would like to get on. That's the winning run if he gets on. Nix is on deck. That one is drilled to left field. Going back Bay. On the track. At the wall. See ya. Ball game over. Yankees win 5-4 on a walk-off home run by Russell Martin. Last time the Yankees had a walk-off home run, September 8th, 2010. And that was Nick Swisher against the Orioles. And a bad weekend for the Mets in the Bronx. Well, Russell Martin is the hero. 2 home runs, and he's with Meredith Marakovitz. Meredith?
Russell, tie ball game. You come up to the plate. It's a 3-2 count. What are you looking for there?
Well, he's been throwing the slider a lot to me, so I kind of had that in the back of my mind. Left it over the plate, and I took a good swing.
Seemed like a heck of a celebration out there coming across the plate. Take me through that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I lost my mind right there. I tried to jump, and I think I got 2 inches off the ground, but it still felt good.
You were the guy that put this team on the board with a 2-run homer. That one in particular, did you think that one was out? Because it seemed like you stalled a little bit going around first.
It was a low line drive. I'm glad that short porch is out there. So it was a good win.
What does it mean to this team to be able to sweep the Mets here at home?
No, it feels good. I mean, Mets got a tough team. You got to play good against them to win, and we did that.
Russell, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Guys, send it back to you.
Thank you, Meredith. So Russell Martin with the game winner, and you have to stick around for the post-game show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. I wonder who that's going to be, David.
Well, Russell Martin is exactly right. He's looking for a slider after 5 straight sliders. The 6th one is going to leave the yard, and John Roush is already walking off the ballpark. See here, the hanging slider right there. Russell Martin begging, stay fair. It does.
And there's the leap and the score. And strangely, though, as we watch Russell being interviewed by Meredith Marakovitz, and now on the radio side by Susan Waldman, there's no pie on the menu for the Yankees. When you get to home plate, though, a little water, but no pie. But a win nonetheless. The Yankees sweep the Mets in dramatic fashion, and we'll be back.
3 months after you quit smoking, your lung function improves up to 30%. But right now, you're 1 day closer to emphysema. Every cigarette makes you sick. For help, call 311.
Hey, Terry and Joe, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Dunkin' Ice Mocha.
I'm drinking Dunkin' Ice Caramel. Large when we're playing these guys.
Any advantage you can get, huh?
For bragging rights this city, definitely.
New York rivalries run on Dunkin' Iced Coffee.
Everything looks good in pinstripes. So can you with the Yankees Edition Ford Escape.
The Yankees Edition Escape. Register at your local Tri-State Ford dealer or Yankees.com/Ford, and you could drive one home from the game on July 17th. Get your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Queensboro Toyota, your neighborhood dealership since 1967. Come see our wide choice of Toyota cars, SUVs, and vans to fit your lifestyle. Our salespeople make it easy to drive away today. No credit? No problem. Queensboro gets you financing. Service and sales at the same location. We're your one-stop shop. Drive home in your new Toyota today. Choose a certified pre-owned from our large indoor showroom.
Mention Jennifer and get $100 towards your new car purchase.
Stop by today. Hit it out of the ballpark. I'm Cindy with Lee's Toyota. And while some dealers can't get to first base, you can score a home run deal at Lee's. People come from near, far, and in between to shop our 3 big showrooms at one location. Amazing low prices, 0 financing available, and great leases. If you missed coming to Lee's, you'll miss getting a lot for less. Family owned and operated for over 50 years. See what a great deal really is at Lee's Toyota.
You better believe it.
My house is nice and quiet. That's a Sloman Shield doing its job. I've got perimeter protection, interior protection, and now I can see what's going on. Not in front of a computer? No problem. I can view the camera from any web-enabled device. The best part is it's free. You just pay for the central station monitoring, which you would need anyway in order to alert the authorities. All you have to remember
250.
Well, the Braves average just under 30,000 per game, and there's many more than that here tonight. Yankee fans are trying to drown out the Braves fans and maybe stop that tomahawk chop.
Fly ball, left field, coming on Prado, and he makes the play. Final out of a 1-2-3 inning. It'll be the bottom of the order against Cody Epley coming up.
Life.
Try and be nice to people. Avoid eating fat. Read a good book every now and then. Get some walking in. And try to live together in peace and harmony with people of all creeds and nations.
That's pretty spectacular advice, actually. Thank you. I enjoyed this chat immensely. You were very eloquent.
That's nice of you to say.
But I see your true colors. Lying in my bed, I hear the clock. Don't cry no more. Wipe away your tears.
Guys, I'm gonna take a little nap. Why don't you guys take a break?
Seriously?
Yeah,
Seriously.
that kind of rich. Powerball from the New York Lottery.
There's a good probability that you're paying too much for rent. And chances are you're paying too much for clothes, and it seems likely that you're paying too much for gas and fares and tolls. But one thing that is certain is that you're paying too much for coffee. That's why McDonald's now offers any size fresh brewed premium roast coffee for $1. Because the first thing you want in the morning is coffee, and the last thing you want is to overpay. The simple joy of any size premium roast coffee for $1.
Buy right with WB Mason and get the brands you want at prices you'll love. Like Sharpie markers that write without smudging or fading. When you want the autograph to last, use a Sharpie delivered by who but WB Mason.
You know, you could vote along with us for tonight's Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 42951 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Robinson Cano, number 2, Raul Ibanez, number 3, Ivan Nova, and number 4, Nick Swisher. Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. New pitcher is Cody Epley. This will be his 16th game, 12 hits in 12 1/3 innings. Strikeouts and walks identical. Opponents hitting .267 against him.
So Joe Girardi looking for Epley to shut down the bottom part of the order. They mentioned a good crowd on hand here tonight. A lot of people out on the plaza beyond the center field wall. There's a restaurant out there called the Chop House for a tomahawk chop. If you're ever out in Smithtown, Long Island, go to the Chop Shop. That's a great restaurant. Ask for Lucy.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you doing in Smithtown, Long Island?
I have friends in New York.
Oh.
It's not only you, Michael.
Here's Simmons against Epley. Hyundai scoreboard 3-0 Yankees. Bottom of the 8th inning. Another strong start for the Yankees. And we gave you those numbers earlier. They just jump out at you.
Yeah, the second strong one in a row for Ivan Nova.
Count 1-2. Eric Hinsky is on deck. He will pinch hit for the pitcher. The attendance has been announced, 42,669. About 13,000 over the average.
As you said, a lot of NYs in the ballpark tonight.
That's why when interleague play and the schedule is announced, teams just look very carefully to see if the Yankees are coming to town, because they know that'll boost the attendance for a couple of games.
Well, the Yankees haven't been here since 2009. It's the fans see the schedule in the off season. Look at this guy, Yankees shirt and a Braves hat.
3-2 now on Simmons.
He can't lose.
Can't lose. And the 3-2. Chop to Alex Rodriguez. Going to be a tough play. Fires off balance to first. Now they say it's a foul ball, so all of that for naught.
Did the umpire at first make a call? Did O'Nora make a call? I don't think he did, because he saw the foul ball call. Now here's the play. High chopper. Yep, foul ball.
Well, I'd like to know how Chad Fairchild could see if that was fair or foul when Alex Rodriguez was blocking his view. There's no way he could have seen if that ball was foul.
Did A-Rod have to catch the ball just off to his side?
I don't know. It kind of looked like it was right there at his belt buckle. Maybe got some help from the home plate umpire, Alfonso Marquez. But once it crosses the bag, it becomes a third base umpire's call. Cano gobbles it up. 1 out.
Yeah, it's a foul.
That was what Chip Fairchild was looking at. So Hinsky is announced as the pinch hitter, and then Joe Girardi is going to mix and match. Without a strict 8th inning guy, this is what he does. He gets matchups, and he's going to call on a left-hander to face the lefty swinging Hinsky. Yankees lead 3-0 with 1 out. Stay here.
There are some baseball moments you just never forget. Chevrolet is proud to be the official vehicle of Major League Baseball, and equally proud to be building the next generation of memories. From backyards to the big leagues, Chevy runs deep.
Find your local dealer at ChevyOffers.com.
Once upon a time, a fun-loving casino owner had an idea. Oh, June's coming up. This calls for a promotion. Just then, his computer crashed. Oh, darn computer bug. Wait a minute. June? Bug. That's it. I'll throw a June bug promotion. And out of the blue, 4 brand new Volkswagen Beetles fell through the roof.
A June bug promotion, you say?
Empire City Casino's June bug promotion. We're giving away a brand new Volkswagen Beetle every Monday in June. The more you play, the bigger your chances of winning.
Yeah.
All your life, you've been trading up. You exchanged the 3rd floor walk-up for the house you had your heart set on. So now that you're comfortably situated in life, let's talk about your car.
For a limited time, during the Lincoln Exchange sales event, trade up to a Lincoln MKZ, ranked the most dependable car in its class 3 years running by J.D. Power Associates. Now lease a 2012 Lincoln MKZ for $319 a month, including a $1,000 exchange bonus. Only at your Lincoln dealer.
Check out YesNetwork.com's Game Connect, our social networking app that lets Yankees fans interact with each other in the broadcast booth while watching the game. See what other fans are tweeting about and get up-to-the-minute scores and in-depth pitch-by-pitch stats, all at YesNetwork.com. So how about this? They bring in Clay Rapata to match up against Hinsky. And then Freddie Gonzalez sits down Hinsky, his best pinch hitter, and sends up Matt Diaz. The pinch hit for Hinsky.
So in pinch hitter parlance, That is called a scare for Hinske. He got a scare.
And with that pitching maneuver, Girardi takes one big bat off Gonzalez's bench that will not get a chance to swing tonight. And there's a pitch to Diaz for a strike. I guess it's the right thing to do because righties do hit Rapata a lot better than lefties.
It's getting down near to the end for the Braves. They're trying to get something going. Good pitch.
They have not scored a run in 13 and a third innings.
That's after winning 6 games in a row.
He struck him out. All that maneuvering, you get an out and you use 2 players.
And plus, you can leave Rapata in to face another left-handed batter.
Yep.
Joe Girardi warning his infielders, watch for the bunt. Warren is among the leaders in bunt base hits the last few years. You see A-Rod well in on the grass to share on the grass as well at first.
When Rapata gets that pitch, he's very, very tough. If he can clip that outside corner, not much chance for a lefty batter. Grounded to Cano. And Girardi mixes and matches and gets the job done. Rapata gets the final 2. We're going to go to the 9th inning. The heart of the Yankee order, A-Rod, Cano, and Teixeira.
Life should be equal parts responsibility and fun. Introducing the new Acura ILX. Move up without settling down. Those surprising little things she does still make you take notice. There are a million reasons why. But your erectile dysfunction, that could be a question of blood flow. Cialis for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medications and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or if you have any allergic reactions such as rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a 30-tablet free trial.
As one Braves legend says goodbye, new young talent has formed around him. Wednesday, it's the series finale from Turner Field as the Yankees take on Chipper Jones and the Braves in another intriguing interleague matchup. Don't miss complete coverage. Wednesday starting at 6, only on Yes.
Later tonight, don't miss WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show as the skipper breaks down this week's interleague matchups against the Braves and the Nationals. Plus, then Joe answers your questions submitted on Twitter and on Facebook and via email. It's the Joe Girardi Show tonight after the postgame, and catch a new edition Sunday at 5:30 only on Yes. So Joe won that chess match in the bottom of the 8th inning, and now Freddie Gonzalez goes to his bullpen again and calls on the left-hander Johnny Venters.
You can see he's a power pitcher, 29 strikeouts in 23 innings, but the opponent's batting average, they're getting to him this year. He's hitting .319 against Venters. He's one of the staples of the bullpen. Very solid pitcher last year.
Henry, the general thought is that they used their bullpen so much last year that that's why they collapsed in September. Those guys were just gassed.
Wiped out.
So Venters will go against A-Rod, Cano, and Teixeira. Pitch is low 1-0, 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Alex doubled and scored in the first, walked and scored in the third, then grounded to third, and then wrapped into a 4-4-3 double play in the sixth. 2-0. I think he just threw somebody out.
Somebody in the Braves dugout is looking in that direction. Is it Matt Diaz? Tossed.
Well, he got tossed for no reason. He was out of the game anyway.